What's up? Oh, I've had some clones and cups for a few days, so need to put them into cubes. Might as well go I don't want to do it. This bullshit. Yeah, but yeah. Whatever. This your bullshit. There ain't bullshit about anything in particular. What's up, Slad? I was gonna have the chips ready on standby. Chippies. Chippies. Damn it. My scissors. What does everybody use to clone with? Clonex, Hormel. I mean, what kind of gel or powder? I've always been Clonex behind, so I would suggest another product I'm trying it. Because it has more, what's it called, IBA or IBA, which is the rooting hormone. It has like double what Clonex has. I always like to make sure I feed my moms really good before I know I'm going to take clones. Get them good, and so that way when you take the clones, there's enough stored food in the leaves so they can eat still while the roots are developing. You don't end up with yellowed out leaves. And I also like to leave my cuts in cups of water for a day or two in chlorine solution usually. That allows that the cut is well hydrated before going into the cube. You should get a faster reading. Not that I need it faster. If I wanted it that much faster, you just run the turbo car. That's just the way it goes. Oh, there's some. Sorry.
You say put them in water, or you putting them in cubes then?
Yeah, I like to put the cuts in Clonex solution and leave them for a couple days just to make sure that the cuts are good and hydrated before I put them in the cubes.
Yeah. When you say solution, you mean the feed stuff, not the hormone stuff.
Not the gel, right? The actual Clonex solution. Of course, you can't see them because I got the stupid background.
So, what makes you not put them in the turbo cloner? Is that a shipping?
It's too fast and shipping. Yeah, both. Using the turbo cloner, I get clones that they grow so fast that what ends up happening is if you have extras or anything that you're going to be letting go, they grow too big. You end up with such long fucking roots, and you end up. I mean, bare roots are hard to ship anyway, but I mean, professionally, in my opinion, they're not hard to ship, but to be professional about it, I personally don't. I mean, taking the bare roots and wrapping them in moist, wet, whatever, paper towels or anything, to me, that doesn't look very professional when you're selling, clones for
Yeah.
100,
Well, you want a club.
100, 200, 500. Some clones go for 1,000. So you can't, I don't know. It just doesn't look professional to me. When they're in a plug, that's kind of the standard, the industry standard.
That's what I'd want. Because most folks that are buying them, they're not necessarily buying it to veg on and flour anyway, are they? They're going to veg on and clone it.
Yes, that's what a lot of people don't understand. That's what you should be doing. When you buy cuts or you get cuts, however you get them, you should be growing that into mothers and then using those to get your cuts. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
You shouldn't be like taking those and flipping
but
them
then But then there is another market for someone that just wants to buy 20 cuts to do a sea of green or something like that, and they don't want to have mums about.
Yeah, I mean, that works. You got space. You just need a bunch of clones to transplant to a 7-day or even 4.
To be honest, here, if I could get the really good cuts at a decent price, I probably wouldn't even piss about doing clones. If there was the right price, I'd just get them. 15, 20 bucks a clone, I'll just buy them.
Well, and that's the thing, some people are like, oh my God, these cuts are $1,000. I would never pay it. But you don't understand. When you get that $1,000 cut of that really fucking good strain and you grow it into a mom and now you start taking cuts, every cut that you get that's a healthy rooted cut drops the price of what you paid for the original cut.
Yeah. The more it's about and out there, it's just devaluing it.
Pretty soon it paid for itself. But I mean, $1,000 is a lot to come up with right up front. I get it.
Yeah, it depends if you want the latest thing or if you're happy with something from a couple of years back. They're cheap as anything, I'd imagine.
Or learn how to clone. If you can root clones, then you can get snips using it way cheaper.
Oh, people won't complain about paying $100 for a pack of seeds that you've got to hunt through to find that special one.
Right.
They won't moan at that, but they'll moan at paying $100 for a clone that they've already been through the pack. They've already found the one.
Yep. I mean, I know everybody likes something different, but for the most part, most people are keeping the better, phenos and the better. I mean, and that's.
Yeah, but it's the endless chase for something different. That'll never stop.
Yeah.
Strains never really stick around. That's why they've lost so many in it.
I feel like you really should be like keeping your stuff. Like, I'm big into cloning, so you should always be cloning your stuff. And as you pop new seeds and find new things that you like, you just take things out. Like the one that you don't like so much, you replace it with the new seed of stuff that you found that you do like. So that way you always have keeper stuff around. I mean, and obviously like this blueberry, I'm doing clones of the blueberry cookies from pizza. I'm not a huge fan of the Turks, but a lot of people like it. So I keep cuts around in case people like it. I got an order outdoors coming up. So, those people are starting to want clones for outdoors. And people like this. So, I keep it around just for that. Now, if it becomes to where it's just taking up too much space for me to grow something else that I like, it'll go. And I won't have it anymore. People won't be able to get it anymore. That's just the way it goes.
Yeah, I'm really only. I only really look for what I like, really. And it seems to make others happy. So.
That's how it all starts. You get shit that you like, and people like it or they don't. They'll find something that they'll find something.
I've had one that everybody likes. I've had one that everybody likes, and I let it go because I didn't like it. I was like, oh fuck that! Why am I growing something I don't like? It's for me.
Especially with space issues. I always have space issues. So realistically, it's dumb for me to keep a strain around that I really care for. But
yeah, you've got quite a few knocking about, haven't you?
Right now, I got the super buff cherries. I got rotten roadkill, blueberry cookies, Ben and Gary's, snail trail, and then my super crop cherries. So yeah,
have you flowered that out yet?
It's in flower right now.
What's it in? On?
It's on day 16 today.
16. Oh, okay.
I'll send you
so
I already have it. It's already put.
Do you recognise anything about that you are familiar with from the
mom
original?
Yeah, the structure is pretty much the same in the color. It's already got the mob.
And how many of them you popped? How many are you flowering?
Oh, I only popped like 6. I kept 3. I'm flowering 2. I'm actually doing what I normally don't like to do in flowering moms because I just want to get them in, see if because I run out of space, so I need to get it. I need to get it in to see how it's going to be, whether I want to keep it or if I want to try to pop some more seeds to see if
yeah, when you say you're flowering mums, you mean you've popped a seed, you've trained it, and then you're flowering that over taking a clone and flowering it.
I took a bunch of clones and then
yeah.
So
what don't you like about that as opposed what?
Because they get so big and they get so gangly. They get out of control. Moms just grow, because what happens? So when you take cuts, you can't just instantly throw it in the flower. You have to turn around then and let it grow a little bit. Get the nodes back on it before you put it in the flower. Or otherwise you end up with the little buds. I know everybody talks about little buds. It's like I can't grow. I can't help but grow big buds. I don't understand it. People are like, oh, I grow little buds. I make it grow a little.
I think it's that stem thickness. I think it's that stem thickness. You know how you will say if you've got a plant that you've got 6 tops on, and then you've got a plant that's got 12 tops on. Them 12 tops will have thinner stems because they've not had time to beef up and node up. You know what I mean? Whereas if you the less amount of tops, the thicker the stems, the thicker the colas.
Well, you have to have the node spacing, right? If you want, look, if you're stretching your plant out and causing the node stretch to be, the spacing in between the nodes to be really long, if they're way far apart, that's why nobody
can take you 10 inches. It can take you 10 inches, maybe more, to start stacking them nodes up proper, innit? So then,
you've got to do that right away. You have
yeah. If they stack up like that, if you've got like 8-10 inches before they stack up, then you're going to top it. So then you're going to get another 8 inches before them two start stacking, and it just gets longer and ganglier, doesn't it?
I just run out of space. More and more clones constantly. Ugh. It gets, people are like, "Oh, I love growing meat." Not when you get like this. It gets to be.
Well, it's a chore, isn't it? It's like doing the
Yeah,
pots.
it's work. I mean, look, I got another whole. I mean, I got a whole
That's
nother
where
cup.
the I'm not knocking the turbo cloners because they definitely make next level routes and all that.
Oh, absolutely, they're great.
I don't think you can fault the plugs. A bit slower, but they're way less work. You don't have to touch them. You can just leave them. Whereas I find with the turbo cloner, I find
Look,
myself pissing about
here's
with
a
it.
problem. I'm going to show you. I'm going to pull out a plug. Root. This is a root riot plug, straight out of the bag. And this is a problem that people have. This is straight out of the bag. You see how dark this is? Let's see.
Yeah, they're pre-moistened.
Yes. See the water dripping out of it?
Yeah.
You don't need to wet these.
No, yeah,
People think
and
you
there's
need to
enough.
soak them.
There's enough humidity in that plug. If you've got enough in your tray under your dome, there's enough humidity in that plug. You don't need to add water, do anything. Just a tiny crack in the vent, and then that's it. They're done, and they're not as slow as what you'd think. Really, like you've got roots in 2 weeks.
I'll grab a root, man. This is how ridiculous. I'm kind of a smart ass. I got plants besides the mom plant that was sitting in front of the window. I got a table sitting over there with a bunch of cups with just water in it, with Clonex solution in it, with clones in them. Just one clone. I'm getting roots with them just sitting by the window.
Yeah, well, yeah.
I mean,
That when
that's
a
why I don't
while back
understand why
when I
people are
didn't
like,
have any
"Oh, I don't know."
equipment. That's how I did it. That's how I did it when a while back when I had no equipment. They sat in a cup in the corner on the windowsill, and they did take like a month to fucking root
They
out or
take
something,
longer, but I
Yeah,
mean, that just proves though that it's that easy to fucking take clones though. Anybody can do it. I mean, we've always
you got to
laughed
be
and joked
special to
and
fuck
said,
it up.
you can root a cone in your hand if you're patient enough to stand there long enough. If you keep it moist, I mean, it'll root in your fucking hand. But
Yeah.
yeah,
So what was the?
look, it's in the window in a clear cup.
Just changing the water out now and again so it don't go green.
No, I don't change the water. It's
Yeah.
starting to root. I mean, by the window.
So what was the lowdown on the DGC? You snuck in and out of there. Definitely. You've been saying you was going to do it for ages.
You want the scoop?
You were saying, I'm going to do it for ages, and didn't say no. And then all of a sudden, you've been in and out.
And then I met up with Untrained Astronaut too.
Did you go with this with an intentions and then buckle at the knitty when you got there, or did you tick every box you wanted to tick when you went?
Not every box. I told him he was silly, and that people know how to grow, and some of the things he says people laugh at because they know it's not necessarily true. And he's just a character on YouTube, like most people.
So, give the lowdown then. Walk me through it, please.
What? I'm saying, I
What?
just told him. I laughed and I said, "Hey, it's school crop. You probably see me in your chat." I said, "I like what you do for the most part. I think your plants need work." I said, "You're getting to where you have a lot of people watching you, and I think you kind of like aren't completely honest with everybody all the time." He said, "What do you mean?" I said, "Well, you didn't grow a 5-plant plant. One plant. We know you don't smoke $6,000 worth of weed in a month. So you lose people by those claims when people are out here. They really know what's going on. And he said, y'all, you know how it is on YouTube. You got to just give people what they want. But that's what I say. People aren't the same people on YouTube as they are in real life. So
I bet he looked up at you and thought, "Oh shit."
he's cool though. I mean, he's cool.
Well, it's going to be, isn't he? Did he remember you from YouTube?
Yeah. That was the same as Scotty. When I told Scotty who I was, his eyes got real big, and he's like, "Oh!" And he said, "Here, take this," and he handed me a vial of dabs. And then we got to talking, and I just telling him about the 2x4 tenants, and he was taking notes on his phone.
He handed you a bag.
Yeah, he handed me a gram of dabs.
The what? Sorry.
Dabs.
Oh, that. I thought that jar on the short I seen was something that you had took to him.
No, that thing was what he did. Which is really good. It was really good. But he didn't produce it, He takes this trim to his buddies, which, if your buddy's good at making really good hash rosin, then you should probably just let him do it. You know what I mean? Like, he said, "I don't know. I just gave him this stuff out of my freezer, and he brought me back over 300 grams of this." And I was like, "That's what I would do, man. Why would you?" I wouldn't even worry about trying to make it. If you could just send shit over to somebody else and they'll make it for you, take their cut and be done. Sold.
Yeah.
Depends
how much of it you got to do and how often, innit?
Oh my God. There was so many, people giving them weed.
Did you get to smoke any?
Oh yeah, I smoked. Well, I don't go to those events, so mostly all booth. Gosh. I told them, I said, "I'm just gonna hang out with you guys if you don't mind, because I don't relate too well with these people."
Oh, there would have been so much knowledge out there for you to pick up, though, Chop.
Oh God. I'm kind of, it's bummer though. I guess Grower Mo or somebody was there.
Gromo with it.
Yeah, I missed him. I guess he's seen me. I mean, I'm kind of hard to miss though. But I had all my Athena stuff on. People were thinking I was the fucking Athena man.
Right.
Yeah.
How much was that?
Huh?
How much was it to get in?
Oh, it was $10.
Oh, it's nothing.
And then I left before they did some kind of cup or something. DGC fucking.
Oh yeah, I've
But I
seen
didn't
them.
like it because it was Conway Farms, which are really cool people, but the cup was only for their strains. You can only enter it into their cup with their strains that you bought from them and grew out. I was like, what?
You should have took the super buffing and said it was from there, won it, got up on stage, and then said, dropped him the bad news.
Boo. Oh no, they got some strains that were pretty good. Athena was there, so I got to meet up with my rep.
Was there many freebie? Were they realtors there trying to push stuff out with samples and that? Was it like that, or was it people selling wares?
No, people selling weed. That's what it was.
Was it?
Yeah, but it was like, dude, I did buy a hash hole. It was fucking garbage. It was absolutely garbage. But I mean, you know, I don't know. There's just a lot of plant killers in the world. They just don't know it, and people are too afraid to, you know, keep it real and be honest. You know, that's the sad part. Nobody. I don't want to be an asshole, but I want to keep it real with you. I'm not going to spend fucking 3 hours talking to you about it when I can fucking just be blunt to you right off the bat, and we can just don't pussyfoot around about fucking learning how to grow plants.
I would trust the weed less at that place that you went than at a dispo, and I don't trust them.
Yes, and I don't even like saying that because I really don't like the dispos, but
yeah, at least they've got a bit of regulation.
The only person that had really good weed was the older looking dude from the DGC. That older looking guy.
What, the dude?
No, not dude.
Oh, yeah, I know who you mean.
Not Grambo, but the other guy.
The chubby guy with a beard. Oh, what's his
really
name?
Good weed. That guy. But by the time I left, the DGC crew
what's been done to it?
They had a Walmart bag full that people have given them up samples.
Oh yeah, I'll bet.
It was nuts.
And then do you know what he does with all that? Do you know what he does with all that? He'll send it off to a bloke, they'll make it into rosin, and then he'll give it out at the next show.
Maybe. Or he'll just give it away somewhere. You know, like,
well, they can't travel with it, can they? So he'll have to get rid on it.
But I mean, he gave me the dabs. He gave me one of the fucking DGC shirts. So,
yeah, well, all business expenses, in it.
He wants me to wear one of his shirts. He's like, "Would you please wear it?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll wear it."
Yeah, I mean, you meet him in person and you kind of get a different bond with him. But I'm still in the mind of fuck him, because he was only out there to be paid, and he was only giving stuff out because he's writing it off on his business. And
sure, absolutely, that's business, right? That's business. I mean,
doing it because he likes you or wants to. It's because it makes business sense. That's why all of them are there.
Absolutely, they're not going to drive all the way fucking from Colorado to go there for. I mean, dude came from Canada. You know,
yeah, well, Kindway Farms has probably paid him 20 grand to show up.
Maybe because one of them, I think it's the husband. He's a doctor. You know, so he does med cards and shit too. So they put on these events. This event was at like this really nice park. They rented the park out and shit. So yeah, it was.
Well, when, like, say with the DGC, yeah, they've got quite a broad reach of people, and for them to put out Kindway Farms as someone, say if it's £100 a pack, they only need to sell 200 packs, and that's 20 grand back there, and they'll sell thousands of packs now because DGC will be pushing it.
Well, that, and then, you know, the vendor fees they charge for all the vendors. I mean, shit like that.
Yeah, well, they'll be making money left, right, and centre on every aspect of it. Yeah.
And then, like, when they do those cups, it's ridiculous. They charge a bunch of money to enter the cups. You know, like,
yeah. And you know, the cups that they're giving away, they wouldn't have even brought them. They'll be sponsored, and a trophy or a bong or a glass making company will pay for them to give their stuff away as a prize.
Yeah, just for saying their name at the event.
Yeah. Here's our trophy. Look at this beautiful piece of glass made by blah 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 blah. He's just earned himself 2 grand, and they didn't even pay for the glass. It's all rife corruption.
I mean, it didn't. I'll say it like this: I was standing at the judges' table when they were looking and judging the weed. I wasn't impressed.
What could you? What?
Some of the buds. I hate to even say this, but some of the buds didn't even look as good as Channel 2's bud.
Oof.
Yes.
What, are they there out in the open then in a bowl?
Yeah, they were just sitting out at like a picnic table, judging.
And can
So
you go
I
up
was,
to it and have a whiff and a look and that?
yeah, I would, because I was with the GGC crew. So I went right over there with them and was fucking sitting there with them while they were trying shit out. I wasn't one of the judges, so I didn't try nothing out. But and then I just ended up getting up and leaving. But because I was just, you get to a point where you're like, you can only hold your tongue for so long, and you just gotta walk away.
Oh yeah, the trigger. Yeah, it's the trigger, isn't it?
I was getting triggered bad. Yeah.
It sounds like you did well to stick it out long enough to speak to the famous YouTubers.
I had to even catch myself because when I was with Scotty, we went inside and a dude stopped him and started asking him grill questions. And I jumped in and started saying stuff, and then I just stopped myself. I was like, oh, I better quit.
Yeah, what? Did somebody come up to Scotty and start talking about the grow? And Scotty was giving him booth information, and you had to silence yourself.
And then Scotty started talking, and then he stopped and he looked over at me, like waiting for me to say something about it. No, I ain't gonna do it. I ain't gonna do it. Because he knows that I'm gonna be like, no, that's ridiculous.
It's pretty funny. So I imagine untrained astronaut
to be with this camera.
Quite a cool dude, quite a funny dude. Outside of his what he does.
Yeah, he's not bad. He's not bad at all. I gave him some weed. He didn't have any weed, so
he didn't have any weed.
Mm-mm. And his allergies were fucked up. He was fucked up. He was like sick.
He turned up there with no weed.
Yeah.
I mean, I get you can't fly, but they've not had it sorted by the time I got there. Fucking hell.
Dude, I mean, I'm not. Dude's kind of a snob. Not gonna lie. I mean, I talk to him, but he's more on the snobbier side, and that's okay.
He's what? Sorry.
He's kind of snobby.
Yeah, I got that from when he had his wife on. When I saw her, I thought, "Oh, I know your type, love."
But that's okay.
Look down your nose. Look down the nose at you, kind of folk.
Well, when I gave Scotty the bag of weed that I gave him, it was an ounce fucking in the fucking
an ounce of what?
One of the generic Grove bags.
An ounce of what?
It was the calves. I gave him Hindu pucker. But he's looking at the bag and he was like, "Oh, it doesn't say Grove bag on it. Do these things really work?" And I'm like, "Yeah, they work. They say everything on it except Grove bag." That was dude. Dude said that.
Oh man, I'd have snatched eyes out and you blink a fucking eyelid.
I said, "Yeah, they work to the same thing. They just don't say Grove bag on them, and you can get 20 for $6." Like, and he was
what a sausage! And you know, that's put me off, dude. Now he was the only one that I still kind of liked.
Scotty,
but now I know the fucking snob.
I was telling Scotty, it's kind of, I tend to bust people's balls on the internet. And he said, "Yeah, you got to stop being such an asshole."
But does it work? It's only an ounce, mate. How long is that fucker going to last you? How long do you need it to last for? Moaning.
Yeah, it's just a fucking Grove bag. I don't know. It just doesn't say Grove bag on it. Who cares?
You should have started ripping into him about his shitty plans.
Nah. He's
never finished an outdoor. He hadn't finished an outdoor in years. They mould out on him every year. I seen him go to great lengths with a big LED outside, wrapping, covering it, and all this.
I agree, Todd.
Years
My
ago.
only Grove bag that I got was a pound bag, and the zipper fucking ripped like the third time I opened it. So
Mine's ripped.
even
During
opening it
first
the way they say, you know, you
week.
fucking you get in there at the middle and you kind of pop it open and slowly. As soon as I did that first pop, it just ripped the fucking thing off. I was like, man, this is bullshit.
I just like a jar, you know, and then I'll pull out what I'm planning on aim.
I've found the bags, even these generic Grove bags deals, these Turp Lock bags are better than the jar, in my opinion. Even in the mason jars, I don't know. It still seems to dry out way quicker than it does in the bags.
Oh yeah, they you can't like I don't use the screw-on ones, you know, the ones that have got like a lever on,
Yeah,
like the growth bottle, bit like that. And yeah, within 3 months,
cheers,
2
buddy.
months, but it's never around that long. It lasts me long enough for it to be around, you know. That's why I've never gone into the Grove bags, because I'm not looking at keeping anything for longer than 3 months anyway. 2 months.
I think that's cab, right? Lower class booth.
Yeah, it is.
Scotty Reel got some of the Hindu pucker. Yeah. He liked it. He said, it's nice to be able to have, you know, he said to him it was like an older strain. Like it reminds me of the old days, and I like it. Yeah, I'm waiting on other seeds too that I fucking haven't gotten yet.
It's a lot nicer training a seed, though, isn't it? Don't you think?
Oh, a seed you can train so early. I mean, you could. That's the thing about. I hate growing seeds, but I like growing seeds because you. I mean, you have to do it in order to get the next strain. Find the next, you know. So. But
I
I
like
don't think it should
the
be
early
your.
training.
I don't think it should be your main thing. Like I say, you pop new seeds to find something to replace something that's on the lower end of the strain list that you have. So like if I only wanted to have if I can only have 5 strains, whatever is the lowest on that 5 would get replaced if I find something from them new seeds. So that way I always got something else going on. You know, that way you can take the time to really train that, you know, you're not like growing that seed, you're gonna do a little bit of training, I gotta hurry up, but you know, because I gotta flower it and I gotta
Yeah.
you got other shit that you're doing that. You're flowering other shit already. You got shit that's you know, the shit you like, you're already in rotation doing that. You're growing up the new mom, you're training her out really good, really early, you're getting a lot of clones off it. You're then able to root those out, and then those can go into the next rotation to find out what you like out of, you know, you find your phenome,
And
get
you
rid of
need to
all the
plan
rest.
in advance.
And then if you
You need to
find
plan
one,
in advance for that as well, because like if you're going to grow a seed on and then flower it, it's like, how many clones do I take of that before I flower it? Or you know what I mean? Or because otherwise you're going to end up with a big mum that you've vegged out for ages while you're waiting to flower that cup out, or you've flowered the mum and you've kept a clone, and now you've still only got one clone while you're waiting for that to finish flowering. So it's
and
like
then
you need to.
with the one clone, here's the thing: like if something happens to that one clone,
Yeah, well, you
the
take
mom's
two,
already in flower, right?
yeah,
So that's the rough thing. Like that's the thing about taking cuts and then throwing the mom into flower. Because if something happens and you lose those cuts, what are you going to do? Take cuts off
yeah.
the flower, plant, and then
Well, you've
re-veg
got
and
to
do
take
all that?
two. You've got to take two at least,
Or
really. Yeah.
or do you just leave the mom in flower because you have other phenos and other strains that you like that are already in rotation, and you're not worried about rushing nothing, so you're able to take the time. Yeah, the bomb gets bigger. You just have to take more cuts, and just because you take a cut doesn't mean you need to root the cut. The plant needs to be pruned just to keep it so it doesn't fucking grow out of control. Doesn't mean you need to keep every one of those things that you cut off. If you don't need cuts of that right now, take the cuts and throw them away. That's just life. That's part of the fucking plant. You know?
Well, most people though, the stage where they feel like they can hardly afford to sacrifice a couple of tops because they've only got a few and they're going to be vegging more out forever. So they're like, oh, I'll only take one, and that's dangerous.
Yeah, I like it. It's a great daytime smoke. It's not. I mean, it's a little leafier than I normally like, but it's good. I mean, if you like older strains, I mean, this is definitely, it's good. Grows big, fucking nice buds. But I mean, and then look, people are like, oh my God, look, there's a stem in the middle. There's a stem in the middle. That big stem right there, that's weight. So we're going to do something right here.
Oh,
let me grab my scale. Let's see how much that fucking
the half a gram, isn't it? On a half ounce.
Well, let's weigh the whole thing first. Whole thing first. 4.9 grams on that bud right there.
Show the bud to the camera.
Oh, I just broke a piece off.
Yeah.
4.9 grams.
Yep.
Now I'll pop this off and we're going to weigh the stem. See how much the stem weighs. I'll bucket down. Even bucking these buds down, though, they're bigger than one. Not trying to bust these buds' balls. Okay, so here's the stem. After it's all bucked down, a couple little leaves on it. It weighs 0.3. So I mean, almost half.
That's a roach, though.
I mean,
that's an extra roach for the jar.
No, 0.3. So I mean, some people are gonna be like, "See, that's almost half a gram." If you're so low off that you're worried about that, then grow your own weed. You know what I mean? Like, if you're so worried about 0.3 of a stem in a bud, like, grow your own fucking weed. Stop buying weed.
Well, nobody's buying apes like that anyway, are they? They're buying answers. They're only going to get a few of them in.
So
that's how I want mine. If I'm buying an ant, I want a few big fat colas in, and then I want the rest of the nugs. But I like to have a couple of big colas in there.
Well, that was like I said, I said 4.9. So take half 3 off of that, so it'd be what 4.6. 4.6 grams. And now do the math if you got a fucking 50, 60 of those per plant. I mean, it adds up really quick. But these guys aren't even growing 4-gram tops. Their tops are only like 1.5 grams, maybe 2 grams. I mean, and they talk about like, oh, big buds aren't that good. Big buds aren't that good. Really? Fucking one bud's over a fucking eighth of weed. What do you mean? Why would you? I mean, and the quality is going to be the same because the potential of the plant. If it's a really good strain and it's grown really good, and it's only going to do the best it can do and yield the best it can do. So the quantity over quality is crazy.
Well, I believe that there is a grain of truth in that quality over quantity.
The only truth to it is some strains are better than others. You know, they just
Yeah,
yield
well,
better.
yeah. If you're on about that single plant, then yeah, nothing's going to change the quality of a quantity of that. You're either going to grow it, a lot of it, and it's good, or a little of it, and it's good.
Right. It's all on you, the grower. You know, picking the right genetics and the right.
But you know, I do hear rumours of these fire strains not growing as big a buds, colas, whatever, and yielding a little bit less.
Oh no, let me go grab a bud.
I've heard a few people say that, but I've heard people say the opposite as well.
Here's a rotten roadkill. I mean, there's a top. And yeah, do I consider it a cola if you end up, you know, getting a stick in between? No, not necessarily. So, I mean, could this be considered stopping right here? Realistically, yeah, you could say that, or even up here. But this is what people are calling a cola, right? So if this is a cola, the size of the buds on it are way big. And this is so good. Rotten roadkill. You can't touch the buds on this shit. So I mean, the whole thing of I purposely grow little, but I just don't understand that. The plant doesn't naturally want to grow little buds. It wants to grow as big of buds as possible because the bigger the bud, the more calyx hairs it's going to have to be able to receive pollen. And then more seeds that it's going to be able to, you know, like the plant don't want to grow less because then it can produce less seeds.
Some people might want their lower buds to be more mature. Your buds could be light green and not mature. So that might be why some people.
I had to go hang that up. I had to hear you. Sorry, I haven't even been looking at chat. Yeah, you'll have huge quality buds. I mean, it's hard not to do that. So I don't like, you know, I've seen, and not ripping on levels, but I've seen his recent update. And other than it took a long time to get there, before he stripped his plants, they look good. Those plants look good.
Who's that?
Levels. Unlike defoliation, he would have been good. He could have flipped. But then he went in and stripped all the leaves off. I'm going to tell you that stripping the leaves off has been done for 50 years and it's a proven thing and blah, blah, blah. If it's proven, then why are your buds always so much smaller than mine? Why is your weight not true weight? You know, why are you not? I hate that. You know, you're making these claims out here telling people this, and it's not true. Stripping all your leaves off is not getting you more weight.
Yeah, 99 times out of 100, I would agree. Maybe there is a scenario where you benefit, but he's telling everyone to do it no matter what.
Do it, and it's fact. He's saying it's facts, but it is a fact that it'll get you bigger yields, and that's not true. I mean, the same guy that's telling you is the same guy that has all kinds of issues. The same guy that's having pH problems in soil. Like, get out of here! Like,
I heard him say that his pen wasn't broke. He needed to calibrate it. He didn't know you were supposed to calibrate it.
and maybe his pH was off, but in soil, it's
But
pretty
I mean,
forgiving. Most soils are buffered.
bonkers, though, isn't it? He says that his pen's broke, and one of his gromies sent him one because it was broke. But now he realises his other one just needed calibrating. I mean,
So the guy that,
calibrating. If you calibrate your pH pen, you know how long your pen that you use lasts, don't you? Because you'll try it 1 month and you're like, it hasn't budged. So then you'll wait 2 months and you're like, well, it still hasn't budged. And then it gets to the point where you're like, well, I've got to do it twice a year. But you're prepared to calibrate, aren't you? What's the point in having a pH pen if you ain't got the calibration equipment?
Look, here's the deal with that, right? Like, serious, here's the truth on that. Like, not trying to bust his balls or nothing, but the guy that doesn't understand that you're supposed to calibrate a pH pen is the guy that's going to teach you how to grow and tell you that you need to strip all your leaves off your plant.
Yeah. And the pH isn't even an issue. It's in soil.
It's in soil, and we know that soil is buffered. All soil is buffered. So, and we also know that in soil, the microbes and stuff are going to change the pH levels. The levels are going to change in soil to uptake different things. That's just what happens in soil. So to try to make it out like it was a soil issue, okay, whatever. But still, the guy that's having the issues is the guy that you're learning to grow from. Like, that doesn't make any sense.
And he's being tricked up by an uncalibrated pH pen in soil. That's got 3 layers to that stupidity.
So, I mean, you can track the videos and see how old his plants are. I mean, is that what you want? I mean, do you want 1 or 2 harvests a year? Do you want, I mean, like...
I've not even watched the last couple of... I've seen him drop 2 videos or so over the weekend, and I've not even watched them because it's been the same thing over and over. They get stripped all out, and he ends up with like 4 inches, 6 inches of canopy depth, with a 2-inch nug at the top, and then 2 1-inch nugs.
I mean, if he's happy with it, I guess. But to teach people that, and to say that stripping... Look, why'd you take all that time to grow the plant to strip it all off? That does not make sense. People have not been doing that for 50 years. Tell me who's out here doing that besides Level's little group. Who else is stripping all their leaves off?
It's a good job I weren't on panel, really. I seen Chiba come in, and about a week or two, I'd seen Chiba go up on Levels, and he was referring to when he'd come up on PKR, and like I was on at him about it, and so was others, saying that they're growing him just perlites, not the great idea. You're going to be watering loads and blah blah blah. You got the runoff loads, all that, and he was saying that on Level's show that the people that had told him that blah blah blah, he ain't listened to it. He's been doing what he wants to do, and yeah, it worked out all right. So then he comes up again last night that he's just got them bounced back because he's not been giving them enough runoff. Burnt all his roots out, but they looked quite good at the moment. when he gets into, he's in veg. When he gets into flower, I'm predicting the amount of runoff he's going to have to put through them pots to keep up with the water that the plants need is going to be. I don't know what he's going to do with all that water runoff that he's going to have to give them.
They'll start getting yellow leaves by week 3.
Yeah, they're going to lock out because you literally have to do like 20-30% runoff in perlite because the salt, it dries out so quick. The salts just cling to the perlite. It doesn't stay moist.
The only way I'd do something like that is on a drain table with you have to have drippers. Because they're gonna
Yeah. But look how much you have to water. So sometimes I can go up to the plant will drink easy double what it does in veg. Easy.
I'm watering 2 gallons twice a day right now. Wow. Coco.
And there's some big ass plants that Chiba's got there.
Mm-hmm.
That perlite can only hold so much water. That'd be great if he's going to put the work in manually.
The perlite really don't hold any water. It's the
roots.
No, just
not really. Yeah.
When you soak it, the roots get wet, and then once the roots dry out, the roots dry out.
It does get a lot wetter when you get a dry bag and then you rinse it through. It is what it does take up some water, but them plants are going to be drinking a gallon, 2 gallons a day, maybe. I don't know.
My 2 gallons are drinking a gallon. I have to give half a gallon in the morning and a half a gallon at night.
Yeah, but then there's also root health. If half the roots are dying and half the roots are growing back, it's like maybe that perlite is going to hold enough water for sick roots.
For sick roots, yeah. I mean, but then what are you going to do? You're going to wait to recover for even longer? So how long do you keep a plant and recover a plant before you decide to flower it? Like how long? I mean,
yeah, that was a thing that Flyby was saying, that he should hurry up and get that bogger flipped. He's planning on doing it next week, and a week's a long time to go with a plant that big in veg, isn't it?
Yes, it is. By the time it goes another week, it'll be almost time to transplant again.
Yeah.
Well, it should be.
And it's another week's worth of salt build-up and risk of messing up. Like you just haven't got the buffer that you'll get with a bit of cocoa or whatnot, innit?
Right. Something it just doesn't hold water like anything else. I don't know why. Unless you're doing a dripper system, like I said, or flood and drain table, I would never just do.
I don't know what his obsession is with the substrate he chooses. He was cloning in sand.
He's also a busy guy. He don't have the time to hand water perlite, in my opinion, the way it probably should be watered. Like if you don't have the time to look, if you ain't got a lot of time, the best thing you can do is get ocean forest. Why? Because there's food in it, and you ain't gonna have to water as much.
Yeah, you can't miss a day. You can't miss a day in that perlite. You might not even be able to miss 12 hours.
I was gonna say probably close to 12 hours. And coming up in flower, if the plant's double in size, they're gonna need water probably every 6 hours. Maybe even sooner.
It would be a labor of love. I've got faith in him to be persistent enough to see it through to the end, no matter what that conclusion is.
Oh, and he's not a quitter, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I hope it works out for him.
Yeah, I wondered what strains he's got.
I think I would love it if Levels would, when he thinks he needs to go in and strip all of these off, I wish he would just one time not do it. Just do a light defoliation. Take some of the leaves that are covering up each other and things like that. Take some of those and leave it and see what you end up with. Versus, because he never grew any healthy plants before to show him what fucking plants really look like with all the leaves on them. Like, so how can you say that this
best
method
one
is
I've
better than
seen
that
him
method?
do. Best one I've seen him do was with Happy and Hills, and that left a bit to be desired itself, and that was the best I've seen him do.
He was on the right track. I can say that for sure.
I don't know why that stopped. Was it? I think it was something to do with
I think it had a lot to do with other people telling him shit. People not liking. Oh, Happy and Hills is part of PKR. Fuck those guys. Don't listen to those guys. Why are you listening to those? You get all that shit.
I thought it was. I thought he did them dirty on some kind of grow off thing.
Well, he did, but I mean, it's the same thing. He did. He tried sending. Well, when they were doing the Lupos grow off, he tried. There was a Discord, almost a discharge. There was a Discord group for the Lupos grow off, and Levels went and started a Lupos grow off group over in his page and was trying to send everybody over there for the grow off instead of where it was originally at and where it should have been. He tried just stealing the whole thing.
Effective practices.
And then he turned around Levels. I don't know if he created a room or nothing, but then he started doing that with the GTGT. Making it out like it's his, all this. And I don't even think he was involved in that grow off.
I think a similar story. Oh, my memory is terrible. But there was a guy that came into the Levels crap about maybe 8 months ago. It began with A. Amy's. So you had Amy's, right? I think that this went under the radar a bit.
Ames, that was Ames, right? Ames Rose.
Ames, yeah. So
I haven't seen
he used to go live at the same time as Ames, and try and push traffic over there. And they did the BizCon thing, and then after that there was like Ames sponsored a grow off, and Levels pretty much kept it. He didn't push the traffic over to Ames. Ames sponsored the grow off, the seeds for the giveaway, but he didn't push the traffic over Ames like he had been doing before. And then them two, well, I mean, they hadn't been live together. When was last time you seen them live together? And also, let's not forget the chronic chatter. What happened there with
every group that tries to be a part of shit with Levels and everything just kind of falls off for some reason. Huh? And what's the common denominator? Oh, it's Levels. Huh. Must be everybody else.
How was he paid for him to go to BizCon and all that? And it had some promises of filming with that other one as well, with the match, something to do with Macho. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But none of the work got done, and they fell out. Because Chronic Chatter made a video, didn't he? With big time buds calling out Levels. And who was that other one as well? It was her husband.
Well, there was the people that were doing the filming and kind of doing some behind the scenes stuff for Chronic Chat.
Yeah, who's that woman there? It was her husband, Carl.
I don't remember. Yeah, he was supposed to do the filming or something like that.
Yeah.
Nothing. Yeah, I don't know. That's fucking weird.
So much deception goes on. It's hard to remember all the stories individually. You just have to remember that the common factor was Levels.
Well, I mean, he's, for whatever reason, seems to think he's above everybody else. That's okay. If he wants to try to make friends on the internet, then that's what you should do. But I'm going to warn you right now, searching for friends on the internet, you're not going to find friends.
No, it weren't.
It's like the people that go out looking for a relationship, right? They're looking to get a boyfriend or a girlfriend. You're not going to find the right one doing that.
Oh, what's that woman and husband?
I don't remember what it was. That's how invested I get.
Oh no, that's gonna.
Are you talking about smart poker?
No, it's another.
Jump up here and see what you do.
Her and her husband.
The ones that were doing behind the scenes stuff for Chronic Chatter.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't remember what they were. I think
They're quite they're well known. DC 420, Chromie, straight in there. Good to see the bookkeepers out here.
Didn't that stand for Chronic Chatter? CC? Maybe not. I don't keep up that much.
No.
People think that we'd sit out here and we just watch everything and it's like.
A lot of these things, they're so subtle and kept on the down low that people just miss them. They don't realise it's going on right under their noses. And these peers that they look up to in the community are just going around ruthless with each other. I mean, that untrained astronaut admitted to your face that he just plays a character, giving YouTubers what they want. So he's open.
I think that's pretty much what everybody does. Everybody does. Well, not everybody.
Yeah. But openly admitting it to your face is crazy, isn't it? At least while you're out in public under your persona, act your persona, you've just shown yourself there as fake.
What we call it in wrestling was K-Fab. And what that means is if you're going to play a character, you have to stay in character when you're out in the public everywhere. You know?
Yeah.
You can't act a certain way when you're performing and then turn around and be a completely different person to everybody that's watching you in real life. Like that doesn't make your character look very good.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Some people look at him like he's an idol. If you read his chats, a fake god.
Balloon knot. It's okay though. I mean, it was the same way over in other communities I was in. You know, people are the same way. It's drama, and they're not the same in person as they are. You know, and if that's what you choose to do, then cool. You know, well, you got to remember some of these people. I know we think of it like high school, but some people aren't on here to be real like that. Some people are on here to try to make money. They want to get sponsors. They want to get codes. So whatever they got to do to push that is what they're going to do. And as long as we know that, then, you know, well, fuck it.
I might be a bit nicer to your face, but my morals aren't going to change. And no, I ain't going to change. But I might word things a bit politer. Drop the language. But they're celebrities, aren't they? And that's what celebrities are like. They think they're celebrities so they can validate their actions because they're playing a character.
You know, these one people, they told me, they're like, no, dude, look, you've got to give the people what they want. You know, if they want you to say certain things, you got to be able to read the people. And if that's what they want, then you just give them that. And it's like, that doesn't make any sense because.
Well, I get that a bit, but that you shouldn't betray your morals that you're holding in real life. You know, if you're selling out, innit? There's no nice way to do that.
Except creative. You doing a live show today, creative?
Oh, I see. Cheers, great. Doing a 4x4 area. That's interesting. If that's how it's going to continue, doing what you can do under one light and blah blah blah.
That's like 1,000 watt light. That's like a 6x6 area. I think the only reason why he keeps that is because there isn't a tent that'll fit that light. Yeah, that's a big light.
I mean, so for veg, I found a bar light that's a meter across in a 1.2 meter tent. So it's 200 mil. I don't know what that is in your inches. 10 inches, maybe. Narrower than the tent, smaller than the tent. So like 4 inches all the way round. Do you think that's a bit?
4 inches isn't bad.
Mm. It's just that they're nearly. Well, no, not there. They're 2/3. So I can get them for like 180, but the others will be like 260. When you need a couple,
Yeah.
520 or 360.
Right now they should have sales going on coming up. You're talking about
Oh,
lights,
it is
right?
Easter. I've not thought about the Easter. There might be something pop up.
420 sales are going to be hitting.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. That's the time when you unlock the piggy bank in it and pick up some strains.
Yeah, you pick up.
Because everybody's going to be doing buy one get one frees and stuff like that. Well, not everybody, but then when it's what I find is
Get your shit now
when
when it goes on.
when they give you a free pack and there is no choice of the pack, you get them deals over there.
Yeah, we do.
Them packs are terrible.
Yeah,
Old.
testers.
Yeah, well, like
So.
half of them don't germinate, mongoloidy. I find that a lot with the this is the pack you're having. It's like they're clearing out the stock in it on that strain because they know it's from.
Something they didn't have a lot of, or something they just didn't want to fuck with, or something that they fucked with and didn't like the results. Like they tested it and didn't really care for it, but they had a bunch of seeds. Fuck it, we'll just send those out. Freebies. Like we'll make it somebody else's problem.
And at the same time, they're still full price on their website if anyone's gonna buy them.
Because somebody's going to tell their buddy, "Oh, I got these freebies," and they're going to be like, "Oh, damn, those sound like fire. Where'd you get those? I'm going to go buy me a pack." They gave them to him for free, so you're going to go pay money for them? Like, get
I've not thought about the sales.
Yeah, there's going to be some sales coming up. Giveaways too. There's always 420 giveaways. But get your shit from China now while it's on sale before the tariffs completely kick.
They're so clever. I'm sure that they'll find a way. So, what's the plan on the doing? Are they taxing the stuff being shipped in from China?
I don't know, but allegedly, Scotty May had told me that AC Infinity told him not to push the product too much right now. Because they're going to lose money.
Yeah, well, so they're not going to be the only company doing that. So China is going to notice that they're not selling as much, and then what Trump wants to happen will happen. Because I bet if they do put a something in place, China's just going to ship them from somewhere else or find a loophole or a way. The criminals are always a step ahead of enforcement.
AC Infinity's got me blocked over on Instagram, or otherwise I'd tell them, look, why don't you find a warehouse in California or something, or in the Midwest, where you're in the middle and you can ship either way. It's the same amount of time, but find a warehouse that you can ship to and ship a bunch of shit there before the tariffs hit really hard. That way you got a bunch of products in America that you can be selling without paying the tariff costs. Like, I don't understand that. I mean,
I don't know. Above my pay grade. One thing's for sure, I won't be entering any giveaways. I won't be using any codes.
I
don't want to let anybody anything.
If you get AC Infinity, just use the fucking Dude Grows code.
I mean, I can't speak for AC Infinity, but that's Spider Farm humidifiers just put me completely off paying a premium for something I can get unbranded for a lot cheaper.
Look, anybody want to know the lights I use? They are generic. But I'll tell you what, you see my results. It's RDJ Bounds. Doesn't sound like shit. But they got 720 watt bar lights that fit the whole 4x4. And they're like, I don't know what they're going to be on sale, but they're only like, last I seen, $279. And I don't normally give that information out to them because, light's fucking light. But I've been running these lights for a while now, and I'm pretty happy with them.
Well, I've got a clonking old fan that never turns off.
You can't.
Generic as they come.
If you turn it off,
and it's outlived everything. It's outlived every other fan. It's outlived twice ever.
Oh yeah, I got a fan that's $12 Walmart fan, and like somehow it broke in the inside, so you can move it like the fan blade up and down. You can move it all over the place. You just leave it set in a certain spot, and it fucking works just fine. Otherwise, it'll be like
yeah, the ones where they auto rotate. Man, it's been going that long now. If you try and make it do that auto rotate, it goes ding 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 ding. So you just have to have it stationary.
Yep, I just put one on the front corner and then one in the back corner, and I just blow fucking fans straight through the middle, like, and then I got a bigger fan down below. Like, I got 3 fans in the 2x4. Keep that circulation moving, man. But I probably not. Well, I will. I'm running 400 watts in a 2x4 right now.
400?
Yeah, I jacked it up this run.
And what have you raised the light then?
Yeah, I had to. It's all the way to the top. I'm about probably 10 inches away from the top of the plants, 400 watts.
Have you been reading?
I can hit 90 degrees in that tent.
Have you been reading the par with an apparatus, or have you just been looking at your plants?
Just looking at the plants.
What week are they on?
They are day 16 today.
Day 6, and that's the soup. That's your the super crops.
The super buff cherries S2s that I made.
So you've not got a reference point.
I just cranked the light up and said, they're bigger plants, right? So I need, if you would say, more penetration. You know? So I just fucking said, fuck it, I'm gonna crank the lights up this time. Let's see, right? Let's see how much more I can get by adding 25% more light. Let's see what the yield can be.
You don't know with that strain. You don't know what you get normally. Where you know, as with one of your others, you know what you're getting with that. That's where the real test is, isn't it?
Yeah. I heard somewhere that the pound is always there. So as long as that's, facts, then I'll be okay. Just
Yeah,
let
well,
people
I
know
mean, as long
the
as
pound isn't always there. It really isn't. Even if you fill the tenant, doesn't mean you're getting a pound. That's just the way it goes. It looks like a lot when it's on a small screen and somebody's looking on their computer, but all the real growers know. They just know. I mean, if you grab the bud,
yeah, as soon as you get scale,
and yeah, like,
then you know how big that cola is. How much that's going to weigh. Then you know how many colas are in there.
Well, because the cola can only get so hard too. I mean, sure, it could be rock hard. We know that, but it's only this size. So this size of a rock hard bud is only going to be this. That's just the way it goes. And then when it dries, because you're showing it to me when it's still wet on the plant, and you're grabbing it while it's wet on the plant, it's going to be a third of that size. So I know
you can tell how you can tell. Not how you can tell by looking at it with the size of it, roughly what that's going to weigh. You can tell how dense it is. You don't need to squeeze it because you can just tell when you've done that many different types. You know that one's fluffy. You know that one's dense. You can just tell.
You can tell by a lot of times by the hair structures on the bud too, right? Like if there's a lot of hairs,
you can get them really
all over the place. There's fucking hairs everywhere shooting all. You probably know
looks like a dandelion.
That fluffy dents, right? It's that fluffy dents.
That's how I found Acapulco Gold to be. Did that a couple of times.
If you look at that bud, and it's like towards the end of flower, and you're looking at that bud on that plant, and there's like you don't even really see any orange hairs. There's like no hairs.
Yeah.
And it looks like it's that bud's crowning and everything. You can tell that motherfucker's gonna be hard as a rock.
Yeah. All the calyx are swollen.
Yeah, they're swollen up. They're shooting little crowns. They look like it's wanting to foxtail all over the buds and stuff. It's just
yeah.
Like, oh shit. The bud's kind of darker, maybe a little bit, depending on the color of the strain.
That knobbly thing that you get. It's not foxtail, it's knobbly. Never seem to get that. Never seem to get that with HPS.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't know if it was a heat thing, but you would expect the heat to make it foxtail. But never got that knobbly.
It's probably a spectrum thing.
I believe.
Maybe there's a spectrum that the plant really don't need towards the end, but since we're still pumping it causes it to fucking. Or maybe it's something to do with how much light it's still getting at the end. Maybe we're supposed to start lowering the light back down towards the end. Like when we start, well, I call it nutrient restriction, but people call it flushing. Maybe at the point of last week, we start flushing, we start also backing the light back down, and maybe you wouldn't get that, because I think the sun kind of starts dimming down towards the end of the season too. It's not as intense as it is midsummer.
Yeah, a guy said to me, which I thought was quite interesting, with like a HPS. If you imagine going on a beach, says in the day, the HPS is like running all the way to the finish as fast as you can. So you're drinking loads of water and you're expiring loads, and it's really stressful. But then with an LED, it's like a stroll. It'll probably take you a week longer. You know, saying that the flower length in time is longer in a LED.
I'm
Any
trying.
thoughts on that?
No,
Like
not
it's a
really. I
sprint to
just.
the end in HPS, high stress heat.
Oh, it is because I mean you can dim down. They got balances that you can dim down with HPS. So like, but it ain't like LED to where we can go from say 400 watts to 375 to 360. Like we can slowly go down with HPS. It's normally like 600 or 1,600. 400.
Well, you can adjust your light, but that par thing, I think that there's the heat, like the infrared, is it, or whatever. That really affects the leaves. Like they can get heat stress, and it's not that the room and the environment's too hot. It's just the infrared from the HPS is a lot for them.
Well, yeah, the IR is a lot. It will burn the plants. Yeah, IR light is intense. That's why most of you only got a few of them. They ain't putting a bunch of those in there. You'd be fucking. I forgot what I was going to say, but getting high now. You
They just
keep me.
want to be
I
dead
love it when
high
Uncle
miles
Dunk's up
away,
here.
don't you?
I love it when Uncle Dunk's up here because he comes up with a lot of different things to talk about and a lot of different good questions. Good, I think you should do interviews. I think you should start a show.
Oh, I'm not. I'm not forward thinking. But I don't give enough shits to put enough
Well,
forward thinking
if
into
you
all that.
knew if you knew who you were going to have on your guest, or on your show, I
Oh
guarantee
yeah, I
you'd
could
have a
come
good.
up with a good thing like that. Yeah, I could think
I
of
think
good
you
questions and all
because
that.
and you're good at it just right off the top. Right off the top of your head. Well, what about and you're like, and so I think you do good.
Inquisitive mind.
Yeah,
I was as a kid, I was always the one that would get a toy or whatever, and within the week, I took it to bits.
see, my problem is I would write all the knowing who the guest is going to be. I would write all the questions while I was really high, and then while I was doing the show, I'd be looking at the questions, going, "God damn, did I really write that fucking?" I'd be like, "What the fuck was that?" Like, and I'd be
God,
like,
if you
So what kind of rolling papers do you like? Like the fucking lamest questions ever, right? Like,
right, if you sat down and thought about it ahead of time, you could walk them into. God, they'd have a
oh,
nightmare interview.
yeah, you could definitely go that way too, for sure.
But you'd only get to do a couple of them before no one had
Oh
wanted to
yeah,
be
yeah,
someone
they
in it.
wouldn't
It's
even.
kind of you'd have to do a batch of them. You'd have to try and line them all up back to back over a week or so and record it all. But
Yeah,
that's what an asshole would do. I'm not down to make people look bad. Only the bad ones.
I don't even care about the bad ones anymore. I'm
No,
just gonna
not
every
enough
now and
to.
again. I'm just gonna call it. I'll just say it. Like the levels saying that fucking people have been stripping all their leaves off for 50 years and it's proven
Right?
them
Did he
wrong.
actually
Blah, blah,
say
blah.
that?
Yeah, and it's not facts. It's not true. Maybe a heavier defoliation on some strains might be better if they're big, huge leaves and they're indica leaves, so their fingers are really super fat and blah blah blah. But I think for the most part, there
No.
isn't too
Well,
many strains
here's
like
a,
that anymore.
I mean,
So
I can remember things from how long ago? 30 years ago, seeing them. Okay, doing old school 30 years ago. And if you try and find anything online that validates that people have been doing that, you'll never see it. All you'll see is big plants, not even stripped. They've got bamboo poles in with bits of string coming off it. Like, plants. No one's been doing that for 50 years. Okay.
Well, here's the thing, okay? I'm just gonna game everybody up for a
So
minute.
where
Maybe
I have seen that oldest example of that is like Dutch, a sea of greens, and that only goes back maybe 25, 30 years
yeah, but
maximum.
they weren't stripping all their leaves off, you know. They were mostly. I mean, their biggest thing was quick flip.
Yeah,
Because
well, they weren't stripping them off just because they was there. No,
no,
they,
so
they're
so
selective.
you got to remember back in those days is the illegal time. So if flower is mostly always going to be 2 months, the only thing you can try to do is shorten your veg time, because if you shorten your veg time, then there's less chance you're going to get caught growing weed during veg time. That was the whole thing about sea of green. Get them in quick, flip them quick, because
So
you get busted
all the
in veg.
illegal ones here, all the illegal grows here, they'll grow big plant. Well, I say big plants, 4 foot, 3 foot, 4 foot tall plant in a big bucket. Yeah, with a bamboo pole in the middle, with about 30 bits of string off that will come down like a Christmas tree around things. So they'll have a room full of them in flower, and then they'll have a room full in late veg, and then a room full in early veg, because they're vegging their plants forever. There's no leaf stripping involved, and they're the guy. If the leaf stripping and all that was a thing, they would be doing that.
Well, that's part of training, right? That's crazy to me, because like, look, if you're training early, you should never have to be doing that, because you're using the right amount of light for the right
Well,
size
these
plant,
don't
the right
even
size pot,
train chop. They just
and
grow a Christmas tree, and they
it's just crazy.
pack dents in the middle,
Yeah,
big
they
fat
will,
colas.
and if you stuff a bunch of plants together like that, they're just got no other choice but to grow up, and grow up really fast. I like those look though. Those plants. I mean, I don't like the ones that are really big. They're really tall ones. But I mean, I've seen plants like that were really tall, that had really like baseball size, softball size
Yeah,
bats,
yeah.
colas that were like softball size bats. Like fucking
Can you
just
remember?
huge.
Remo. Do you remember Remo when he
Yeah,
used to
yeah.
grow his leg?
I still watch Remo. He does
I ain't
his.
checked him out. I lost my channels. I didn't know if you know that. But he's just sprung to mind now. I'll have to scroll up to him again. But he used to grow like 8 foot monster
Those
plants
ones in
in
the garbage cans.
trash cans.
Yeah, yeah. Those big brute garbage cans. Yep.
And I don't even think that was that long ago, I think that was.
No, that was only like maybe 10 years ago. You know.
I don't, yeah, because his lad had started doing a tent this
No,
point.
because he still does. He still does. Right now, he still does what he calls Marijuana Monday, and they
Yeah.
fucking roll up a joint and they try the weed.
But
Him
does
and
he show his
young buck.
grows anymore? Because all I seen
No,
him do was
I've never
show
seen it.
someone
He
else's.
travels. Sometimes he'll travel around to other places, but I haven't seen that one. I mean, now he's probably just got his name on a few, makes profit off of that and don't even have to grow anymore.
Yeah, well, he's done a nutrient line, in it, and that's where all his money is.
These people
It's
don't
just
understand. Even people around me, I try to tell them, you take the dirty money and you make legal money with it. Like, people don't get
isn't
it.
isn't Remo just advanced?
Huh? No,
Remo nutrients.
Remo nutrients, yeah.
That's just advanced, isn't it?
It's not advanced nutrients, no.
Well, the company that he used to grow with, that's who formulated the
It
The
could.
feed
Oh,
forward.
it could be the partners for them. Yeah, they could be partners.
Yeah. Oh no, it's Remo's company, all right, and it's his all that business, but it's just a very slight variation of the nutrient that he used to grow with,
Well, that
which
means
I
it's
think.
probably really expensive then. Huh?
Well, maybe it's not advanced. Maybe it's that. What's that? A green planet. Maybe it's that. I don't know.
Green
A lot of
Planet's pretty good.
Canadians like that, don't they?
I've used it. Green Planet. That's good shit. Turpinator
I've
shit.
I've always wanted to try that. I think it's. I
I
think
think
all its
green
nutrients are derived from calcium. I think. Let me try and think of the name. Oh, is it not Millennium?
from GH. Is that what it was, Mikey? Mikey says Green Planet guy. Green Planet was a guy from GH. Is that Jason? Justin? Can't remember the main dude's name. But there's the other guy, his partner. I forget his name. There's the one guy you always see for Green Planet, but he has a partner.
I never watched
But I think
all the
Green
pot
Planet has
squat.
a powder now. Huh? Oh yeah, I didn't. I seen the pot squats did a video, but I mean,
I only did about
I
10,
seen the
15
picture.
seconds.
I don't know what. I mean, what are you gonna do with that plant? I mean, take a bunch of clones off it. Be a good mom, maybe.
Yeah, that's gonna hop to the finish line, isn't it?
Yeah, I think Green Planet's got powdered nutrients now. That would be.
So yeah, I like with that whole powdered thing. Um, they say, "Oh, you're paying for all that water and blah blah blah." I didn't. I tried it for a good few months there, and I didn't really notice it'd be much cheaper. Not to a good blended line, you know.
Well, not that it's cheaper, but I think in the long run, like if you were to find a really good deal on it, you bought a lot of powdered nutrients because I mean you're not gonna use liquid outdoor or nothing, but it would just last longer. You know, the shelf life on it would be as long as you kept it sealed up away
Yeah,
from
it
the
lasts
temperature.
longer. Do you think that these powdered nutrient companies are testing and tweaking their formula now and again to improve it?
Maybe that would have been a good question to
I,
ask
I
them.
don't know if Creative's still here. I think he said that Simpro have adjusted that because I know the one I did
I know
had
Athena
adjusted.
does.
They've adjusted theirs.
Look, Athena, like Lonnie from Athena, we were talking about. There was a company that just bought out a greenhouse. They bought out one. It was one, but it's a huge greenhouse. Used to do like pansies, some kind of flowers or something. And so they kept the owners kept the main consultant that used to be there for the flowers, and they only had one dosatron inside this huge greenhouse, and the consultant was telling them they could just run, each thing one at a time through the one dosatron and hit the plants with it and shit. And I was going, what the fuck? Like, so
What?
if you used one dosatron, what would happen for all the nutrients? By the time the nutrients even hit water or anything, they would lock each other out because they would be mixing together through the
Well, I
lines,
don't know what you're trying to. What? So
with
the
the greenhouse.
dosatron is something that will
That
add
that
nutrient to the
Yes, it
water.
automatically. Yes, what it does is it doses the water or doses the nutrients into your water. Right,
And what they're trying to do, put things individually.
all of it. They're trying to use like with Athena, they want to use Athena, but they want to put everything through the same lines, and you don't want to do that. because by the time you really mix the nutrients, everything mixed together by the time it hits the, you know how you can never put like all your nutrients, mix it all together before.
Well, you can't put A in. You can't mix A and B up in a liquid and then add that to water.
No, because it locks each other out.
Yeah.
Lock each other out.
So
that's what
so
would
what
happen.
they would have to what they would have to do is for the hopper or whatever, for the dosatron, they would have to mix a really strong nutrient strength ahead of, like, get a few gallon of water and mix this shit in there, and then that will dilute again with the water in it.
And then hope that you can shoot it through the dosatron and mix
it. And hope that the concentrated strength that you've got to put it in.
If you got to mix it first, you might as well mix it in fucking hand water at that point, because you're already doing the work.
Yeah, well, it depends how much you've got to do.
I mean, because realistically,
you got to mix. But what happens if you mix up a batch of like 10,000 ppm concentrated feed to be put into the dose? It could all fuck up there. It's not designed to be like that. I don't imagine it. But they're for one parts, aren't they? I'd imagine.
Yeah. It's fucking. Realistically, you should use a
555.
Each bottle should have a dosatron. But I mean, the dosatrons are not cheap. They're really expensive. You can get them used, I think, for like $1,200, $1,600. So if you got to get like 6, 10, you know.
I mean, I don't get why you'd even want to bother with one of them in the first place. Wouldn't you just want a massive res with your solution in and a fucking pumping it all out to everything?
It's consistency. If you got 5 different people working in the shop,
yeah. Well, I mean, you are going to get consistent. Go on.
Is his 5 millimeters or his 150 mils the same as the other guy's 150? You know what I mean? Like, so
he's going to get consistency because he's using a single feed, isn't he? You know, he's growing tulips, or has been growing tulips, that are probably happy with 1055 or 555 all the way through their life. Nice.
I don't want to sound like a dick, but if I owned a pansy garden and I had a big greenhouse like that, right, or if I bought one like that, everything my first thought is not to keep the same consultant, because if he was such a great consultant, then the pansy garden would still be gone, right?
But this guy's going from, he took the pansy garden and he's growing weed, right?
No, I know he's going to consult for growing weed. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah, well, I mean, all plants desire different type of food. They'll all grow with anything, but they've all got their own levels of nutrients, levels of acidity that they prefer to grow in. So just because you can grow tulips, and what I'm saying is that doesn't directly transfer to growing anything.
Right. That doesn't make you a master corn grower.
No.
Fuck. Yeah. I mean, I've been kind of fucking around with stacking this round with Coco.
With the what?
Stacking the nutrients. And it kind of seems like it brings on the flowers quicker, but I don't know. Could be the strain. I'm just fucking around with it.
See, I would do with that, because the auto pots, how they run, you've got no choice but to stack.
You have no control. Right. Yeah.
So I play with that. And so you get there's a danger of, that week 4 fade the danger of that one, from what I find. So I'll run a couple of times through that flour. I'll flush them through with just plain water. And that's feeding at low ppms.
I get.
Because you just end up. I just found that I ended up. You've got the stacking nutrients, so you've got nutrients stacked from early flower that the plant might take up in end of flower because they're still in the pot. They've not gone anywhere. So especially with salts, you're force feeding it. It's like,
I wouldn't suggest feeding it every time like that, though, right? Like, so what I'm doing with the 2 gallons is, since I have to water twice a day, I will feed, and then I'll feed again, the second time during the day, and then the next day I'll feed, and then I'll water, and then the next day I'll water, and then the next day I go back to feed. That way.
That day's watering ain't nothing if your plant's healthy, is it?
No,
it's not going to bother it at all.
I just wanted to use up, what was there from before, and then they'll get some fresh new shit the next day. So as long as it's there for them to eat, and they, when they need it, I just don't.
Yeah, well,
to be honest, I'm lazy. I don't like having to water twice a day. No, I'm not really stacking it, not per se, but I'm not doing a runoff. So I'm not allowing any of the nutrients really to run away.
Yeah, so that is. Yeah, that's it. I would class that as, yeah. You're still stacking it there.
Even when I just do the water,
runoff.
It gets a little bit of runoff, but not like what you would consider runoff. There might be a little dribble out the bottom.
So yeah, that bit of water that you're giving in there probably loosens up some of them nutrients again,
just keeps the salt moist, so it's available for the plant to eat it, right? Because you don't want it to dry out. Because if it dries out on the roots, and then as soon as you hit it with some more nutes the next time, and when you get it wet, and then they double stack, and then you burn the fucking root tips. And then you look and you go, oh shit, the tip of my leaves are burnt. And it's like, yeah, because that's what your roots look like.
But are you finding that, that scenario that you say there, you're finding that when you was on soil, that's a lot more forgiving?
No,
you can allow that soil to dry back a bit more.
Oh, yeah.
Without any adverse effect. Like if you take cocoa, I think if you take cocoa as far back as you take a soil, that's no good.
What I've noticed for me, like in cocoa, if you let it go too far and it's going to wilt, the whole plant will wilt. You don't start seeing it work up the plant. You're like, oh shit, the lower leaves, I got to water. You'll go in there and the whole plant will be wilted. And you're like, oh shit. Not
yeah. It'll bounce back. But
oh yeah, it comes right back. But it'll take.
You've stalled it all there, haven't you?
Yeah, you've stalled it out some.
But I only did a couple soil. I couldn't get down with the watering, man.
In cocoa, it seems like you have to force yourself to water more. Honestly, later on, not right away when you transplant a plant. You might water it, what you normally would, but once that plant starts getting bigger, it wants more water, and then you'll notice if you don't water correct, if you don't give it enough water, the stems will purple out. So you have to force yourself to water to keep the stems green.
So confession here. I lasted maybe 3 weeks doing the hand watering every day. It's all in the auto pots again. I just can't be arsed doing that every single day.
Yeah.
Too much. Gonna mess about for half an hour, and it's never half an hour. It's always an hour, and then it's 2 because I have a joy.
I don't mind it because that usually gives me an opportunity to pluck a couple leaves here and there. If I have to move something over a little bit, make sure.
Yeah, but it all starts to feel like work, doesn't it? You can go and
It
it's
is
much
though.
better
It
to
ends
be
up.
able to go and whip them leaves off when you
I mean,
fancy it, or I'll
it's
do it tomorrow. But when it's like, I can't go there because I've got to do that today, or I've got to be back for that today. I don't
no,
like that ball and chain. You can't go
no,
away on holiday, can you? What are you going to
no.
do when you go away?
That's the thing, man. Like, oh shit, the fucking light comes on. I gotta open the tent.
Yeah. It's
Gotta
not
be
like,
home.
I was just about to have a nice nap. It's like, oh no, I've got to go and do that, haven't I?
Well,
Just
that's where
inconvenience.
I guess you could say, I don't know, you could kind of start putting yourself in the craft cannabis part where you're more hands on. If you're doing everything hands on and it's really fucking good, weed and everything's done right,
Yeah. Well,
isn't that
I'll be providing organic CO2 by sitting with them for
oh
the whole
Jesus.
duration for 12 hours. I'll sit there the whole 12 hours, I will.
Yeah. I
If
just
if
put
I'm
this
doing craft.
I just put the fucking snakes close to the tents so that way I get oxygen from the snakes. That's the secret. I shouldn't have told you guys. Fuck, we're live. Snake CO2. That's the
It's
secret.
more powerful.
It's the secret to big butts. I shouldn't have told everybody. But there you go. Now you know. Snake CO2.
Yeah, I'm all for the automation.
I'm not gonna lie, it doesn't. There's plenty of times where it sounds really nice. I've got pumps and hoses and everything in my Amazon cart ready for a fucking drip system for 2 tents, but I just haven't done
You got have you got an easy way to run a waste away so you're not filling up a res under the thing and then you're having to empty that? Or you got a way to just run it straight to a
it.
drain?
I mean, I could run it straight out of the tent and do a different bucket. But, I mean, it's just as easy if I can run it in a bucket and then go back there in like an hour, empty the bucket.
Yeah, but it's also nice to not even have to worry about that bucket, innit? That's
Yeah, you're
that's
like,
what
God
I'm.
damn it, that's not automated.
Yeah. That like I'm not in a situation where I could do anything like that when I eventually do grow something, um, or I'd be doing it. I would be running to waste, automated. I would just be going in and checking that the res is going down every few days because there's a few days of water. They'll survive a few days.
In an
Oh,
ideal world, that's yeah, absolutely. I'd have the two by four tents like right next to each other, leaving enough room in between to have a big, res tank that pumped for both, tents
yeah,
that would do drippers, and then all the drain would hook together and run one pipe out, you know, like out to a barrel, like outside into a barrel that you had that had a
yeah.
hose
You can
spigot
save
on it.
that.
Yeah, with a hose spigot on it that is close to a fucking garden bed. Like that would be the ideal situation.
And the good thing about that as well is, any bad, like any bad bacteria or anything non-desirable in the root zone, it's just getting flushed out and away, as opposed to sitting in there festering because you're just pouring water. You're not running the water off and away enough.
Well, if you had the barrel outside elevated too, you could have it on a hose that ran to a dripper line that dripped in your garden. So then it would be automated your garden and dripping in your garden the whole time. So you wouldn't be watering that either. Like So there would be no time to build up anything, right? Because even outside in your barrel, you can put in one of those water movers. At least one of them. Have you seen those, like for the aquariums? They just fucking stick to the side of your res, and it just moves the water. Just keeps the water moving. Doesn't necessarily aerate it, but it keeps it moving.
No, I just run a little 100 litre an hour, 60 litre an hour pump just to keep it moving. Don't put air in. It's just to stop everything from settling out, you know.
Yeah. You just keep, because once it goes, water sits. Is when it goes.
Which it still don't settle out really. If you're using that res up in a week.
Oh yeah, you're gonna really. I mean, honestly, that's why I say if you had a hose with little dripper lines in your garden and you were growing tomatoes and all that, and you'd have it just fucking feeding your garden all the time, so you wouldn't even. It wouldn't sit there longer than nothing.
Do you remember that? This is back in the day, DGC. A guy called Terp Ptarmigan. TRPPT. Terp Ptarmigan. He was one of their biggest cheerleaders. Do you remember that doctor? Someone, doctor.
No.
Anyway, that Canadian guy, I bet he's still on. If you're looking up, it's TERP and then Ptarmigan, you know, with a P. And I seem to remember he used to grow fucking 5 foot, 6 foot wide plants in with drippers going drain to waste. Some damn good looking colas.
Well, I mean, if you get, I even hate to say this, but if you get a good, healthy plants and you get a good drip system going, I mean, and you know, running it, I don't think I would do drip system with soil, but with like Coco or something. Good drip system, drain the waste, and you're able to get it dialed in. I think you could probably knock it out of the park.
Yeah. Well, you see the difference in so you know when you run a turbo clone, and then you've got a clone in a plug.
Right.
You see the difference there, don't you?
Absolutely. That's the same concept, right?
Yeah, your buds are going to do the same.
And then,
I'd imagine.
The next step from that would be just straight in water and air, hydroponic.
Yes, I do. Yeah, which I don't think would be that much of a step harder than what we're talking about. I just think that it's a bit more high maintenance. There's less room for error.
Just more water for me. It's just sitting, you know what I mean? Like I don't run a res now, so it's easy for me to just hand water and I don't have to worry about it.
You're going to have to start chilling the water though, because you've got pumps running in there all the time instead of just a little one keeping it stirred.
Well, that's the thing, right? I gotta worry. I mean, that works for some people, but then you gotta start thinking, okay, efficiency.
Well, then you're off the automated point of it.
Yeah. See, that's where you got to figure that out. Is your time? Do you have the time to just suck it up and mix up some nutrients and do it by hand? Or
and drain your system out and clean everything.
Are you willing to go in there and clean everything out? Are you willing to pay the extra money to rent a pump, buy a pump, run all the extra stuff? Maybe now you got to run a chiller, so now there's electricity for that. Now you have to buy a chiller. And are you willing to put all that energy in?
Well, you usually pay to make things easier, don't you? Like the hydro seems very high maintenance for, I don't know how much more than if you got a real good, a hydrogen 70-30, like 70% hydrogen, and had a good dripper system.
I think once it gets to the point where you grow plants like New York John now, you don't even think about it. It almost becomes just a natural thing, right? And he gets such fucking large amounts for the time.
Well, by the time you're at his point, you're used to the amount of work that you've put in, and
Right,
it's not
so,
really that much
yeah,
work because
right.
you've perfected. You know exactly what to do. I mean, look at all the learning curves that you have going from Coco to soil.
Oh,
It's going to be
wow.
loads more than complicated than that, isn't it? You know, you're going to fuck up a few times,
Yeah, I don't
probably.
want to fuck up, because then you start fucking up harvesting, and you start, like, yeah. Instead, I just found something that I like, and I just do it multiple, right? Just do more. I don't know.
Well, what about when people have kind of cracked what they're doing, like they've got the soil down and something like that, and it gets a bit boring, then a new system, kind of upgrading.
Well, I would definitely recommend if you want to do that, you can always do that. But really, you should do that in a different space, right? If you can, because you don't want to stop what you figured out. You
Yeah, it's an
if you
experiment.
stop that to do an experiment and you lose your ass on the experiment, your yield for that time around just went way down too. And the chance of you running out and having to go to the dispo now is really high.
Most people don't have 17 4x2s. That's the problem. They've got like 1 or 2 tents. It's all
Come
or
on.
nothing.
It's tent town, baby. That's what I always
So
say. I mean, and it
the,
does get boring. It does get boring, right? Like you get to a point where you just know what you need to do, and you just do that. And, there's nothing really exciting till you get towards the end of a flower tent, and you're like, "Fucking hey, look at that!" And you're like,
yeah,
"Yeah,
very
yeah,"
boring.
But I mean, it works. You just keep doing that. Go collect Pokemon cards. Go collect
But I
football
had a
cards.
nice bit of excitement, popping seed for the for a while and not done it in ages. The anxiety was high, so it was adrenaline rush for 3 weeks solid. Worrying about every little aspect. But everything's fine now, and it's fucking boring again.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm hoping for some excitement about week 3 and 5.
No. No. Maybe. I don't know.
But also, I've got to probably lose a bloody quarter of it to hermaphrodation. Always got to be prepared for that, ain't you? Took a
Oof.
couple of extras in.
Well, did you? Are you at a point where you could take clones of everything? Are you going to do that? Is that something?
Well, we're
Are you
talking
feeling
about
that, or are you just
in
running
a
it?
couple of years' time when I do these things.
Yeah.
No,
Well,
not
that's fine.
no. And
On your,
therein lies the problem, Job. Therein lies the problem. I would like to take the clone and flower the clone,
yeah.
but I'm not, because I don't want to piss around for another for longer than I have to. I feel I can shave a few weeks off as long as the space is full. I mean, that is priority number one. Well, space full plus 20%, because you've got to allow for the hermaphrodation and be prepared to, if nothing happens, and just take a couple of them bad ones out, the worst out. Got to be prepared for that. So I feel like I can get all that process done a lot quicker. Got to make the space full. As soon as space is full, without a couple of the tops for clones, that's when I would if I did this time, next time.
You're taking good notes, right? For the future.
Yeah, well, that's the way I'm swinging now. I'm looking at it right now on my whiteboard, and there's a big line down the middle, and there's path A and path B. Path A and path B.
Oh, yeah, it's good to have a whiteboard with future goals.
Well, I prefer to
always
be able
change
to visualize it
Just don't use a
physically.
permanent marker on the fucking whiteboard. Huh?
I ain't got no markers yet. I'm envisioning it. I've just got the whiteboard.
Yeah, you're just using your finger.
I'm envisioning it, what it's going to look like when I draw the line.
You're not even to the point where you bought the pack of pins yet. You just got the
No, well, like I said, we're talking about something I'm doing in years. I've got time yet.
Oh, you
Don't
got
need to invest in pens.
Yeah, you got a lot of time.
So, did you meet any other famous faces at the
No,
CBD con?
I'm talking to nobody else.
Wouldn't know them if there was. Wouldn't know who they were if there was.
No. I just walked around a
Did
little bit, talked to the rest.
were untrained and the DGC guys surrounded by security or by fanboys or by girls throwing their knickers at them?
Every once in a while somebody come up and talk to them.
How many folk were there? How big was the venue?
Oh, I wouldn't. There wasn't very many people there when I was. There was definitely more vendors and people walking around.
Oh, bad times. Scotty leaning back, rubbing his hands, going, "Look at all these suckers! They've paid $1,000 today."
People selling ounces for $70.
What was it? Was it declaring whether it was indoor or outdoor?
Does it matter? Oh, boo.
Did they all have fancy packs then, or was there mom and pops with jars and bags?
Yeah. It was all jars. But I mean, that's cool. I mean, at least you gotta respect the hustle. Just not for me.
Do you know what I'd like? So over here, we have strawberry fields with and when they're in season, they open it up for a couple of weeks. Pick your own strawberries, so you can go around and you can eat as many as you want, but you can pick the best of the best. And imagine at harvest time if you could go round and pick your fucking your donkey dicks.
And they charged you by the gram.
Time.
They charged you by the ounce. Yeah, when we were
well,
kids,
they're going to have to factor in they're going to have to factor in that huge stem in the middle of it, Chop.
When I was like,
that's for sure.
I was like 10 years old. We used to get up at like 4 o'clock in the morning, and we'd catch a bus at 5, and they'd take us out to the fields, and we'd pick strawberries. And we'd make $2 a flat.
Same. They used to pay you by the punnet and then by the basket.
Yeah,
but I had to ride a bike.
Yeah.
That's cool. We was doing the same things at the same times, and used to make you feel sick on the strawberry.
I still don't really eat strawberries.
Oh, mate, I like them sliced about half a centimetre thick, and then sugar over them, and then you leave them to go room temperature for a couple of hours, and it all melts syrup. Oh, that's my shit. That's my shit.
I like strawberry milkshakes.
Oh, pistachio milkshake. Have you ever had one of those?
Oh, yeah.
Good times.
Not too many places do those around here.
I've not found any. I had them in Egypt every day for 2 weeks. Like 2 of them every day. never got sick of it. I come back here with the intentions of knowing that I'm going to have to make my own because they're not here. And you can't even find decent pistachio ice cream. The only stuff they have is this like luminous green fake shit. It's not like the stuff they have, the real deal.
Yeah, that's not good. Like a paste? Was it more like a paste?
Or like do you have like them? So you would have the bubble gum ice cream that's bright electric blue.
Yeah.
Do you get that shit?
Yeah.
Well, it's like that, but in a green form.
Yeah.
That's all I can find over here.
Yeah, I think that's how we get to. It's like I don't know how bright green it is. It's like a pale green, like a
it's not. It
pale.
just got that weird fake taste to it.
Yeah. It doesn't blend well on ice cream. I don't know. The ice cream I've eaten. I'd rather just eat the pistachios. Pistachio.
Well, it's creative live.
No, he's not going live today. He put up a post.
Oh, I thought it was back on his things.
I don't know.
It's not easy trying to structure something.
You know, like things come up. You got things to do, you know.
Yeah, and also you get them days where you can't be arsed or mental block days. Like, well, what do I talk about today that I haven't talked about?
You just don't want to talk to people. You know, those days you like, this, whatever. Like, you know, like, I don't want to deal with people.
Yeah, come on, do a rant for a bit, and then that's it.
Yeah, that'd be better, creative. Like 3 times a week or something, you know, like that way there's a couple of things you can catch everybody else up. You don't have to do it every day. It's tough.
Yeah, man.
Try to entertain a bunch of YouTubers every day.
And to come up with meaningful conversation every day as well, without going over the same kind of stuff, or not saying that's how I'd see it anyway. Because if you think about it, nobody's doing it that dedicated, are they? Really?
Oh no, I don't think so. Not every day.
Well, apart from Channel 2, obviously. That Grow Channel's. He puts it together every day.
Circling the drain.
He'll be doing his outdoor soon. That'll be, and then everyone will have something to talk about and get on at him about.
He's he blocked me again this morning. I wasn't even doing anything.
Yeah, but sometimes when there's a 2 or 3 on it,
an outsider looking in, you know. I mean, it seems like you're always blaming everybody else. Like, fuck what everybody else is doing. Worry about what you're doing. You know, but you don't like to do that stuff.
Well, I don't know why he wants me to die. I've not done anything to him.
He wants you to die now?
I'm only kidding.
I was going to say, geez, that's a little harsh.
Blatant disrespecting me. He may as well want me dead. He said he doesn't trust me. That hurts because I like to fuck with him. You know. I don't judge him. I don't judge him. He's got a vendetta against me. I weren't allowed on backstage last night because of him. Yeah. I weren't allowed backstage because of him, and then when I do come up, he was straight on my case.
Were you on BKR Street?
Yeah, I was only on for half. In fact, I had to go down. I had to get off. I felt that
Grounded.
bad. He made me
Yeah.
feel that bad.
Are you grounded? Yeah, you're grounded.
And then he'll make a post, and I don't know if anybody else gets the same feeling, but I feel like the post that he makes directly addressing me, like he's not talking to anybody else, directly at me.
Oh,
Maybe that's
I don't ever read his post. Maybe it's just because you read his post. I don't think
well.
anybody else does, do they?
Well, I mean, what would you get from the
Well,
last one I
if I
seen?
was the
He
only
said,
one reading the post, I would think it was about me.
if you if you if you fuck with Dyking Queen, don't come around or bother me or something. So who's that directed at?
I don't know. Because I don't
And
fuck with
why?
him. What does that mean? You know, he can't tell you who you can and can't hang out with. Like, come on. That's weird.
I don't know. Never upset the bloke or said out bad about him. Only ever fucking stuck up for him. Yeah, I take them piss a bit, having a laugh and
Right. I bust his
that.
balls because it's, again, an outsider looking in.
I don't even bust his
Everybody's,
balls, Scott.
oh, yeah, that's why you don't get blocked completely. But I mean, it's only an outsider looking in, trying to, get him to look at it. Like, dude, it's not everybody else. You need to change your, not even completely change, just a little bit and look at things a little different. Like, sit back for a minute and look at things maybe a little differently, and maybe things will work out a little bit better. But just going and acting the way he acts to people, you hear him on the lives the way he talks to some of the people, and like it's just like, geez, like it's why nobody's doing nothing for you, because everybody's like, dude, what the fuck ever.
I'm better off single. Better off single, I am.
You are?
Yeah.
Oh.
I don't want any father figure. I don't want any lifelong bonding relationship with anyone. So it's all made me feel, Chuck.
You're done touching tips?
So it's made me feel,
Yeah, well, I mean, it's channel 2, so you gotta just consider the source. Right? I'm not saying anything bad. I'm just saying he tends to go off and
well,
give him some time.
Nugget sticking the knife in. I can't believe him. He's a traitor. Nuggy is an absolute traitor. Like I say, directs a comment at me, so I'm there on my knees in the comments, on my knees, and Nuggy's in there sticking, like, calling libtards and all that, and made me look real bad as a traitor. So angry at him now. Now I think about it.
Well, let's break that down a little bit. How did it really make you feel at the time?
Like I was betrayed. Treacherous. A traitor.
Was it a feeling of
But do you know how it felt?
Or was it disappointment?
I felt abused and controlled. So that he was being like the jealous boyfriend, saying, well, yeah, it was like the jealous boyfriend laying his tramp stamp on me in front of Channel 2, and then he was waiting for me to respond, because how am I going to respond to that? Am I going to put my arm around Nugget? Am I going to put my arm around Channel 2?
So who do you think that you really committed more to in this relationship?
I've never been committed to two people more in my life. Well, I can't walk away from either of them.
That's a tough
And
choice.
I'm in this position where I've got to choose one or the other.
I don't think necessarily you have to. I think that one of the people will make the decision for you because they won't let you be friends with both.
The early warning signs was not being given my wrench back.
Well, I think you really hurt him.
It was, written on the. I saw it then, written on the wall, but I couldn't see it for what it really was. And I went by to say hello today. Didn't even acknowledge me. I mean, he was busy battling trolls at the time.
Yeah, those
But
dang trolls.
I just stood in the corner looking at him.
Well, how did that make you
Waited
feel?
for 5 minutes, and I just opened the door and I walked out, Chuck.
Did you get the door closed when you came in?
Well, no, because the bailiff had the foot in the door.
So do you think that maybe you were already on defense before you came into the room?
There's one.
Did you give him a fair chance? He was battling trolls.
I thought I did. I started to feel awkward, to be honest. That's why I left.
Well,
I felt like everybody in chat was seeing me reach out to him.
Yeah,
I was being ignored.
Gray. And when you're gray and you're in chat, you feel real vulnerable.
Oh. Do they even read Greys? I don't even think Blues bother reading Greys. So no one was here to stick up for me. And that's like, so Dyking Queen, yeah, he's the main problem. He's started all this. It's talking to him that drove the knife between me and Channel 2. The wedge. The dog's got the knife. So I don't know if I'm gonna type in anyone's chat anymore.
I don't know if I can really speak on it the way that. What'd you say, Viking Queen?
Dyking? That's what Channel 2 calls him, yeah. It's hella disrespectful.
Yeah.
But VK does call Channel 2 a googly-eyed little prick and stuff like that.
Is it like the eyes that were on? Whenever I think of that, I think of the eyes that were on New York John's plant.
I think of the ghost clip thing. You've seen that.
Yeah.
With a girl with a blanket over her head.
Yeah.
I think of that.
So back to the way now we understand how Channel 2 was making you feel. How did it make you feel really when Nucky was in the chat over there?
Well, I sensed something was off a while back when Nuggy had to come in with his Nuggy spelled backwards account. That's when I first discovered that Channel 2 and Nuggy had ancient history. And mine and Nuggy's friendship have done nothing but bloomed since then, as with Channel 2. But now I'm questioning Nuggy's motives behind the friendship.
You were getting pretty high up on the list of clapping Nuggy's cheeks, weren't you?
Well, at one point, before Damp, at one point, yeah.
I mean, I don't mean if you hurt Channel 2's feelings, and well, I know you didn't hurt Nuggy's feelings. Maybe he hurt yours a little. I mean, maybe it's you. I don't.
No, it's everybody else. Honestly, it's everybody else.
Okay.
Now I'm beginning to question Nuggy's motives to be coming so close to me. His plan all along was to break me and Channel 2 up. And now this is how premeditated Nuggy's been about it all. Now I'm in the position where I know that Nuggy hates me, but I've got nowhere else to run to but back to my abuser. Because Channel 2's done with me. I've burnt all the Da Vinci bridges to his heart.
Do you still have a wrench over at Nuggies?
It's hard to say. I don't know if you know this, but I'll tell you anyway. I've had a few accounts taken off me recently, and I've been in that many Uncle Dunk accounts. I don't even think that people notice me anymore, to be honest with you, Chop. I'm grey almost everywhere.
Are you grey here?
I've no idea. I don't know. Like I say, you're like, oh, Uncle's got his wrench, and you don't even look at it again. But then the channel gets took, and I come in with another one, and that happens again and again, and you stop looking. I stop looking.
Well, I understand what you're
Only
saying.
Channel 2's.
I think I was one of those trolls that he was ignoring you over this morning.
Did you have a wrench?
No, I don't have. Fuck.
But hang on. He read you as a troll in grey. Not disrespecting him, by the way. You were just pointing things out. He read you, but ignored. God, the plot thickens.
How does that really make you feel right there? That was a troll.
Like I'm not welcome now. Like I shouldn't even bother ringing his doorbell no more.
So you just said a grey troll took precedence over what you were saying.
Yeah. I renamed my own channel with a Timu wrench to try and lift his spirits.
Are you reading chat? I'm trying not to.
No. My eyes are full of tears, Chop.
Yeah, well, catch some of those because you can probably dab those. Take some dabs. I was dabbing Channel 2 tears this morning. It was pretty good. Tastes a little like acetone, but
dabbing tears.
But anyways, no, we always like to get a good laugh out in between these sessions because it takes the tears into joy. But back to the way Nuggy was making you feel.
Oh. You're really trying to make me say things I don't want to say publicly.
Well, we're making mighty good progress here.
Well, let's just say I've got Nuggy sent me some pictures and he wouldn't want them throwing out there. So before Nuggy starts trying to get in between me and Channel 2 again, the next time I reach out, he should think about that.
I don't even know.
I've got Nuggy's. He sent me a picture of his elbow, guys. I've got the infected leg shots.
So is that like, are you wanting Nuggy to reach out to you at this point? Or do you need a public apology? Like, do you feel like you need an apology that is worthy of the disrespect that you got?
At the minute, I'm shaken to the core. So I've moved out for a bit. I'm just taking some space, a few days away with the kids. And I'm not going to switch my phone off. I'm not going to block him or anything. And I'm also not going to jump up and do a crazy live and shout about how I'm single now. If anybody else wants a slave,
Mm.
not going to do anything crazy at this point.
Well, I mean, I think they'd rather hear that Nuggy was single, because everybody's on that ass.
Well, it seems like Nuggy's always single, doesn't it? But he never is. I think it's a bit of a floozy. Is it easy to get to the Nuggy heart, and then the cheeks will always be there. Well, that's how I used to feel till he stabbed me in the back.
I heard they're getting
like
smaller.
A dog.
I heard his cheeks are getting smaller, so the longer it takes to get to them cheeks.
And there's another truth as well. When we first met, he assured me his cheeks, there'd always be enough to go around. And now he's literally half the man of when we first met.
You might not want those cheeks no more.
He's probably trying to cast off people like me.
They're just falling off because there ain't enough room to.
The dingleberries are dropping. Leaving a trail behind him. I wonder if he's any better. I hope he's feeling better. He was a bit fucked up yesterday. And the day before. That's what guilt does to you, maybe.
I heard he was just trying to avoid you. But I mean, that's just what I heard.
Yeah. Sounds about right. That vicious comment. Imagine waking up to that.
I'll be honest. I'm trying to project on you, but the truth is, I think Nuggy got the hop virus.
Oh, it's latent.
Yeah, somebody sent him some seeds and they were bad. And so now he's all cooped up with the fucking. He got that fucking hops virus. He's not feeling very good.
Oh, I hope he feels better soon. Better enough to apologise anyway. I mean, he can sit up in bed and do that.
Yeah. But anyways, back to channel 2. Are you going to try to do anything to reconcile that, or are you just going to let that lie?
Well, to be honest with you, I'll always be there. I can always type under turtle and I can always come as a different person. Maybe I've already got a wrench under a different account. What about that move?
Yeah, but does that really express your true self and how you feel?
Well, listen, it gives me a pinch of hope, because I know if he likes him, he likes me, because I wouldn't act different. Then it would make me think that it's just because Uncle is on panel with PKR and all that.
I think you're kind of onto something, because I know that when I get blocked over there, it's very easy for me to go over there with it. Well, probably not so much anymore. But to go over there with a different account and him know that it's me, and I actually get to hang out for a little while before he blocks me.
Wow. I mean, you say he knows it's you because you tell him every single time that it's you.
Well,
But
yeah,
I don't think he knows it's you. I think as soon as he does know it's you, that relationship burns out fairly fast once it clocks on. Have you noticed that?
Well, so it's not him, it's me.
Oh, God.
Oh,
I mean, there's so many layers to this. I've got to unravel that one. I mean, I'd like to think that he knows it's you from the jump because you'll tell him every single
he
time.
said, "I don't think this is where I want to be if Jesus comes. See you later."
But there we go. You know, the last time I didn't know. Well, I wasn't really paying much attention because it's a grey. You know, greys get completely ignored. But it was him that pointed out it was you. And I thought, oh, nice detective work there, Channel 2. Considering that for the last 10 accounts he's told you who it is every single time, every day for 2 weeks before you block him, before you realise who it is. He caught onto you fast. So I think your days of hiding are long gone with Stu. But he knows exactly. He knows your grow better than you, probably. Because
he
as
taught
soon
me.
as you mention anything to do with your grow, with what you do in your grow, that's it, you're busted.
You know, but remember, he taught me the fade, so he should know.
Well, yeah, that's the master.
Like, nobody was doing shit like that until he told everybody.
Same with the short plants, though.
Yep, same with little plants. Yep, like, they're not miniature.
Well,
They're just
I mean, there's little plants and short plants. I class as two different things. I think I class a little plant as something that's 1,000 years old,
well, you
veg just out trained all over the place, rather than a short plant, which is, you know, a normal short plant. Them little ones with the little leaves, where the stems have got bark. You know, the ones, the brown paper growing, flaking off the stem.
I don't. I mean, he likes the little buds. What can I say? Right? But that's all that miniaturized plants are going to grow.
I mean, I can. I could open up a bit. With think about this landlord business with
You want to go
the
there?
eviction and that.
Would you say, not that I give a shit, he can do whatever the fuck he wants, but it would be a better idea to maybe take a break from YouTube a couple days and hustle a little bit and figure out a new place to live, because
Well, it depends.
I would feel like I'm trespassing. I would feel like I'm a squatter. I would feel like I'm at any
Yeah, I
point
don't think
I
that
could
the
get
not
in
going
trouble.
live thing is a factor, because I think that sort of keeps him sane and happy, company kind of thing.
The social thing. Yeah.
I mean, I also have been thinking recently, like, maybe it really is that bad where he is, where to quote another YouTuber that's come back recently, AJ, remember him?
Who?
Crabs in a bucket. No one can get out because everybody's so busy trying to pull everyone else down And how, maybe he is an average citizen.
Maybe he chose the wrong character to play on YouTube. Yep. Because most of it's just going off of what people say and how they act and what they do. I mean, they ain't even making up a story. Like, you make up their own story. And everybody else just sits there and goes, what the fuck?
Well, I mean, I don't think there's many stories with Channel 2. I think a lot of it is like an open book, because he'll hear him repeat stories with intricate detail that you would not remember unless it happened. And I hear him repeat them often.
Yeah.
I've heard them a few times.
Well, and I understand, like him not having an ID or whatever for fucking. I get all that, but that was like what, 20 years ago. I mean, that has nothing to do with
Yeah,
right
but
now.
so here's the thing. I know some. I mean, I'm not saying 2's a criminal, but the people I'm speaking of are criminals that have never been able to get a bank account. They've never really been able to get any ID because they're disqualified from driving before they've passed their license, so they can't get a fucking driving license, and so it goes on. And each time you ask for some ID, they require some evidence of form ID or something. And if you've not got that kind of built up, it's a complete nightmare. Now, I'm not saying that you can't get a passport, because over here, no matter what, you can get a passport, and that's even if you've got nothing, you can get a passport. You just have interviews and that, and then from there you can start building your bank accounts and that. I don't know if you can do that there, but I get why it could end up in that situation. Things take priority, and
I just think, like, instead of focusing and talking so much about all that, let's focus and work on what we need to do right now. Like, you need to figure out something. Who gives a fuck about what
it's
people
your
are saying?
options.
Like,
it's your options, isn't it? What options have you got?
Well,
that's your limiting factor.
He tells everybody this stuff, and everybody's giving him great ideas, but he turns every idea that everybody, I mean, like, he's got a million reasons of why everything won't work and nobody will help. And it's like, dude, everybody's telling you, whatever. It's like, oh my gosh. You're going to blow all that money, like, with water in your pocket. No, you put us in your pocket. When you tell us everything and you want everybody to watch you, because that's the reason why you're going live. It's the reason anybody goes live, because you want people to see what you're saying. You want people to watch you. Hello, everybody. Like, you want people to watch you. So you put them in that spot, and then when they give you suggestions about that spot you're in, you can't say, oh, why are you trying to be in my pocket? Like, dude, like, fuck. I mean, it's crazy to me.
Well, it's like that celebrity thing, isn't it? The celebrity, once you become a celebrity and put yourself out there, you sort of lose rights of privacy once it's out there.
I mean, I just say don't put nothing out there that you don't really want out there. I mean, I don't like all the drama shit. I wish everybody can just get over it, be done with it. But, some people enjoy it, I don't.
Well, I mean, some people will get emotional and get angry and rage, do a live in a rage. Like someone from Canada in another break up and single again and hang all the dirty laundry out for everyone to see.
And you know what? For the people that want to watch that and are okay with watching that, then it's for them, I guess. Like, I don't even. Oh well.
I mean, sometimes I might take a bit of pleasure away from watching someone else's misery. Especially if they're getting what they deserve. You know, if it's a karma misery thing, I'm all right with that.
Yeah,
But
no, I don't.
unsolicited misery, no.
Yeah, no, I'm not. It means I'd have to be kind of invested. You know, and I'm not. You know, if I don't know who's together or when they're together or when they're not, you know, then it don't mean nothing to me if they're ever breaking up because I never knew they were really back together again. So I don't. Like I said, if they're cool with doing what they're doing, at the end of the day, as long as they're happy, then, you know, good luck.
Well, I mean, if you think back to any of your relationship experiences, you know, once that breaking up thing happens more than, you know, once or twice or something like that, you know that it's once it's gone through that stage and they've become accept it, you bounce around for years and then it'll fuck up. But it's always going to fuck up.
All right. It's just kind of weird if it gets to the point where you're breaking up all the time. But
Yeah, because you can't, all that stuff, it sits in the back of your mind forever. You never truly let go of all that. You know, once you've been so mad to start making threats and all that.
well, that's kind of a thing too, right? Like you really gotta pick and choose when your battles because there's things that you may say you can't take that back. That's always gonna be in the person's mind that you said that.
Yeah,
That's a
yeah,
hard
yeah.
thing to take back.
Yeah, because most things don't come from out of nowhere, is it? Like you can say, "Oh, I said it in the heat of the moment, and I was hot, I was drunk, I was angry, or whatever." But for that, there's a seed there. It's something you've thought about and had on your mind, and then you're letting go of it. It's not. It's never just out of nowhere.
Yep.
Grain of truth behind most things.
Yeah, I don't want to beef with nobody on YouTube. Like it's YouTube. Like we're supposed to be fucking realistically it's supposed to just be for like entertainment. You know, like
Yeah, yeah.
some people
I can think you're a dickhead and still exist on YouTube with you without having to want to fight you or
right,
want harm to come to you, you know.
right. I there's it's a big space. You know?
Yeah. Well, ain't asked. Ain't asked.
It's the internet. You can be whoever you want to be.
I want to laugh. That's what I come for. Not to learn or argue or whatever's going to make me laugh. That's the way I like to go because it's entertainment.
Entertainment. I mean, whether you're here for whatever. I mean, some people do get on YouTube to learn, but I mean,
Oh yeah, well I came here to learn. Yeah,
but I mean, you end up
originally.
having to pick and choose what you're trying to learn, and then you gotta decipher who you can really learn from, and you
Yeah,
know,
yeah, yeah. So
there's
I
always
kind of I done all that now. So
so then it becomes to where you're like, I come for the
entertainment, it's
entertainment.
entertainment.
You know what I mean?
But even then, even with the learning, it's entertainment because out of all the places that I went around, Grow Boss was the place that I landed proper, and that was entertainment, wasn't it? That was more about. I mean, yes, all the lessons were there, but 90% of the show was ball busting and having a laugh, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was. all in the way people wanted to take the information. I mean, you can take it instantly and get all mad, or you can take the information.
Oh, so I had a breakthrough. You know, when you hypothetically, you'd open your tent and you feel like standing back and opening your arms and accepting the knowledge. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I had one of them moments,
Because
and the knowledge
shining. Yeah.
the knowledge was there all along. Heard it a million times, but it just didn't click. And it's a training thing, and it didn't click. And fuck, I tell you, man, my training it's amazing. Shit you not, with so many different structures,
Well, I can't
all
wait.
fucking all level. Oh,
I can't wait
moist.
for the 3
Oh,
years
I've
we
been
need to see
itching to
it.
fucking. I mean, this when it happens, I'll be itching to show it you. But every time I'm like, oh no, get 2 more days, and it's going to be even more impressed. So I'm not blowing too early. But yeah, it was a complete unlock. I mean, it's fairly good at hypothetical training anyway, especially because hypothetically, I'd train the same ones over and over and kind of. So I kind of got that on point. But to do it with the variety is
Just wait till you can actually do it with actual
real. Yeah. But this gardening simulator app that I've got, it's pretty good on that. You know, I've got 10,000 diamonds on that.
Damn, you're getting good.
Yeah.
You're almost at the diamond master level.
Yeah, well, I only need about 100 more, and I can upgrade to under canopy lighting.
Oh shit!
Plus 30% health, that is.
Yep. That means your C buds will turn into B buds.
Yes.
Oh shit! That means you can sell extra smalls. Damn.
Yeah, anything over 220 micron goes in the sea bag.
Oh shit!
So are you, I don't know how much cocoa you've got on the run. Are you finding it more labor intensive then?
Yes.
But like time wise, I know that
Uh,
it's takes a saying to mix it up roughly and all that.
gotta
But you know,
water more often and the plants grow faster. So
have you found yourself, so you say you're watering twice as much, have you skipped any through laziness?
yes. And what happens if you skip is you'll start getting the stripes, purple stripes on your stems. That's why I say you have to force yourself to water.
Yeah. Big change from, well, I mean, I guess with your soil, was you even doing that every day? Probably for a couple of weeks there.
I was doing ProMix for a while, but the ProMix, I didn't have to water as much. It was every 3 days. So go from every 3 days to two times a day.
6 times much more effort. That is the answer I was searching for. Yeah. And it's not that much effort, but when you look at it like that, actually it's 6 times more effort.
Yeah. 2 more
Is it really worth it? Are you gaining more?
2 more gallons. It's 2 more gallons of water per 3 days. Because
And nutrient cost.
I was doing more. You see, it was more smaller plants, and I could do 8 1 gallons in water, 4 gallons of water, and then with 2 gallons, I'm having to water a gallon a day, where it was 4 gallons for all those plants.
And then considering that,
but that's Coco versus ProMix, so not the same medium.
Then considering that factor with the fact that you're always running out of veg because your ProMix stuff was growing too fast, you're always running out of space without throwing plants away. Do you really need that extra speed? Do you think that you'll stick with Coco?
For now, I will. Just
how many have you done a run yet?
I want to make sure. Yeah. Well, this last harvest that I did, that I took down of the rotten roadkill, that was Coco.
And have you done that in the ProMix before?
Not rotten roadkill, no. That's why I'll run Coco for a little bit, just so I can run everything a couple times, just to try to.
Yeah, see if you notice the difference in something that you've grown in the other substrate.
It's faster.
Then you can weigh up the extra time, nutrient cost, electric, if you're going to up your light. And then you'll really know if it's worth it. What would you consider worth it?
Well, speed's always got to be a thing, right? Like if you can get done faster. My thing is I'd like.
Well, you're only getting veg done faster. The flower's no faster, is it?
I don't know. If you?
Well, I don't know. I don't know. Actually,
if you can grow smaller plants and you can run them through faster, is there a way to figure out how to get them done quicker? I don't know. I mean, I would love to figure that out, even if it was a week, right?
Well, I think so. I think I've heard John say that the hydro did finish a few days faster. I think he said faster, not longer.
That might be a thing with smaller plants with Coco, right? If you could gain, even if it was, say, 5 days, because if you multiply that by 5,
yeah, it's half a run, isn't it?
That's a half a run.
Yeah, that makes you get your actual 6 a year instead of 5.5 a year, isn't it?
That could be that extra half a year you need to get the 6.
And then so there's the extra bit of yield on that end of it, and then there's the extra bit of yield in growing in Coco, taking up more newts, faster, healthier, bigger plant, bigger buds, and all that business that you get from Coco / hydro. Maybe that all adds up to where it's just worth doing it, and you should have been doing it all along, but you never know until you.
And then you add the snake CO2.
Yeah. I find that with, like, on this game that I play, when you harvest everything, you can choose to just do it in a box or do it over a trim bin, but the trim bin costs 60 diamonds, so it's like, well, fuck paying 60 diamonds. What am I going to get back from that? But you get, it pays for itself the first use. And I find that with the, I just upgraded and got the washer, and putting that, what I normally just chuck in the garbage on the app, pretty much. And I couldn't believe how many diamonds I got back.
Yeah,
It's like I should have got that. That should have been the first upgrade. I got,
well,
I
and
should have got them ages ago.
you can watch that a couple times.
Yeah. Well, I did. I think the first wash I got like 100. Then the next wash I got like 60, and then the next wash I got like 30, and then I just thought, fuck that. But
Yeah,
it was so, when you have to do it manually, it's such a pain in the arse. Water everywhere, fucking arm aching.
I like
It
dry sifting.
takes
I
forever.
want
This
to
was
get
done in fucking half an hour. It was all done.
I want to
No
get
mess.
diamonds so I can buy the screens. I want a screen set so I can dry sift it.
Yeah, but to do what with that fine grade sift?
Smoke it. You can press it.
Yeah. Well, where I go with that bit of it is, what comes out of trim bin, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with the amount of plant matter in that if I'm just going to smoke it. But if I'm going to press it and try and make something magical,
Yeah. You want a different
then
size screen, right? Or maybe not.
But maybe you can just get the same golden goodness by harvesting at the right time and just pressing the whole fucking bud instead of prattling about. Because I see
really good
fire bud.
Then why would you want to make fire rosin and have less?
No, yeah, there is that. So yeah, there's that angle that what we're talking about now, you're making off your trash.
Yeah, the biomass, right? You whatever's left over that you ate trimming and shit like that you normally don't smoke, you're gonna make really good shit that you will smoke.
Yeah. I mean, as long as it's worth all the time, effort, money, equipment, and all that business.
That's why I like, even like when you got bags of trim in the freezer, every now and again you just take your trim bin and you fucking pull one of them bags out and just dump it in your trim bin, shake it around a little bit, stir it up. And, well, look how much fucking keep you got in the bottom of your trim bin.
Well, yeah. I took some out of a freezer bag to put in a wash bag on top of a black glass hob cooker. So tips it in that to put in the afternoon. When I turned around, there was the thickness of just yellow fucking sift on there. Yeah, it just drops off with the freezer, which I know everybody says, oh, you should put it in the freezer, put it in the freezer. But you really should.
It works. It helps it fall right off. The heads come right off. I mean,
because I always thought that the reason I didn't do it was because I thought, so it not only does it make the heads brittle, but it makes all the plant material in it brittle and break up smaller and all that. And I just thought, wow, it's probably going to get loads of fucking plant matter in it. But nah.
No, I don't think it works too well. I mean, I don't think I've ever really tried it with fresh frozen. I think that's pretty much for washing because it's still gonna.
Yeah, especially if there's buds in there.
Yeah, because once that shit starts thawing out, you warm it up, it gets back to wet. So you don't want to do that. Like trying to press that shit.
If it gets damp in the middle, it releases water or whatever, and then you put it back in the freezer, it's going to make a fucking block of ice in the middle of your thing. And yeah, there's all the buds and all the frost in the middle of the buds. I don't see how when they wash the buds, they get it all out. Do you know what I mean? It must stay trapped inside.
That's the thing. That's the debate to where, some of these strains may grow more larvae, but they're super frosty. Those are just more, when they're more larvae like that, there's going to be more surface area
Yeah,
to wash off the trichromes, right? So I mean, that may be a strain.
Still, even in the middle of them, though, I don't get why they'd wash the buds. I see them chucking whole fucking colas in and that, and I'm like, well, surely there's loads left in the middle of them buds by the time they're doing it, because they're not opening up, are they?
That's why you hope you wash it enough times that you get it all out, I guess. Yeah, I agree.
Why are they washing them big buds? Don't they? That's what sells in it.
Yeah, like back in the day when I first started growing, I mean, you were washing all your trim and your little buds, and you kept all your big buds. Your primo buds, you were keeping those. Like you would take all the little shit you didn't want to trim and everything, all the little sugar leaves, all that shit, and it would go into making BHO or making
maybe it's a YouTube perpetuated myth with the washing buds, because I seem to remember when all the pressing videos started on YouTube, and folks would be having their hair straightened and that. Weren't they like pressing blocks of hatch and keef before any buds got mentioned?
I remember watching John Burfellow and Bubble Man back in the day when they were first, the whole hair straightening thing was coming out, and they were doing buds.
Oh.
And then they got into getting like small t-shirt presses. They were using t-shirt presses. And then things just evolved.
They're still crazy. Here they are, pressers. So expensive here.
Yeah, they're still, a good one that cost you $500-$600.
A good one here. I mean, you know that the dab press that all you guys have. That is it a 5 ton 6x9 plate or something like that? That's like £600 it. So about $800 $800 for that one. I think it's only about $300 here.
That's crazy. Yeah, there's going to be sales on them too, I bet.
Oh no! God, don't say that. I've got 2 ounces of bubble ash on that game saved.
Oh yeah, they might have sales. You better check how many diamonds you got. Save them.
Yeah. For lights, seeds. Maybe I can Google Play and add some credit on. File a tax return.
Well, you might have to sell your trailer that's out in the driveway. I don't know what you'll live in, but you got your truck. Oh.
So I'm running out of, when I go away, I buy tobacco to last me. And I'm down to my last pack. And so these cost me like, what were they, about £2 a pack? Here, they're 28 quid. So it's 19 times more.
Jeez.
And I'm wondering whether it's an opportunity to try and pack up smoking. But now Nuggy has betrayed me. I was going to do, he's packing up. I was going to do it with him, but now Nuggy's betrayed me.
Yeah,
I've not got a quitting partner.
Well, you might not want to quit while you're in such an emotional state.
Yeah, that's true. The cigarettes help with the anxiety and depression.
You'll just have to do a video or something and put up your cash out, so that way you can get some smokes.
Well, you guys have got roach jaws. What do you do with your cigarette butts?
Yeah. Everybody. Where's their butt?
Can you guys
Send the butt down.
jar up your cigarette butts for me? I'll pay postage. Well, no, I won't. Nuggy will pay postage. I don't bother. I'll ferment them at home. You don't have to cure them.
Could you imagine somebody sending you a jar of cigarette butts?
Oh, come on, guys. Nip out to the bus stops.
Well, I bet if you go to the hospitals, they got those.
Oh, yeah. Prime hunting ground.
Just don't grab the ones with the lipstick on it.
And don't get the ones out the urinals because they're a nightmare to light.
Oof. Oof.
Well, I wonder what we've got in store on YouTube.
Oh no, that's funny. I was just gonna look.
I fear if Channel 2's not live, he's listening to this, and I'm done. And I've not even said anything. I've just been on panel with you.
Yeah, he should at least say hello to you from the
You've
chat.
not had
He's not
5
blind.
black fists. You've not had 5 coloured fists in chat then at any point.
I don't think so.
Nuggy's silent, I see.
Nuggy's got that.
I dabbed the cakes.
Nuggy's got the hops virus.
There's more to it than that.
Oh, he's talking.
Betrayal.
Because you're here. That's right.
Well, I wonder what happened with the water heater then. That's what I wanted to talk about with 2.
I don't know. He's too busy with YouTube.
I just wondered what the end of how the stories end when, because I know he'd gone and brought one from Facebook Marketplace and he needed some kind of volt changer that he went for and it sold out, or they just sold it. So he couldn't convert the heater to fit the trailer. So I wondered
he didn't make sure it was the right one before he bought it.
It was a good price chop. You got it for a good price.
And so now he's got a water heater that he got for a good price that he can do nothing with. Got it. I got it. Got it.
You can't tell me that in your life experience that you haven't tried to cut a corner and do save a buck in the grow or what have you, and it bites you in the arse. I've done that loads.
Well,
I've learned now.
I have.
You've got to bite the bullet.
If it was a water heater, though, I mean, like, I would probably be a little more anal because that's a little more important than a couple plants.
Yeah, well, if it's holding you back, that's what I worry about is progress. It's like it's stalling balling at the minute.
He's good. They're not too worried about him. I'll call what you want, squatting or trespassing or whatever it's called where he lives. They're not too worried about it. I mean, he's still got a roof over his head, but he should figure it out soon.
Ace, like, should have done this months ago. they've got. I think they've got to do the whole process again now. Like it's
I
a
think
couple of
so.
weeks now. On Friday, couple of weeks. They ain't coming. Not without. I mean, they didn't come when they had all the paperwork, so they ain't coming without the paperwork.
I mean, live rent free. I mean, fuck it. Run it
Well, I
till
mean,
it
I
is. Follow
wonder if there. I wonder if there is some truth behind the Channel 2's claim of them being slumlords and all that, and they've got all these families, and he's taking them to court.
No, they're not, because he also had said at one point that they told him that he could stay there rent free, didn't have to pay rent. Just when they needed him to move out, he would need to move out. And
Well,
well,
when did that bit of information hit the streets?
that was when he was still before the eviction come through. So it was like they were being cool to him, letting him stay there, and just now it was
Maybe they're
time
still being
that
cool.
they wanted it right. They still could be. I mean, they aren't necessary. Well, they are, because they're not there kicking him out. Like,
Well, hey, I
if they
mean,
were don't you think if they were slumlords, that he would have been there that fucking day that he had to be gone? He'd have made sure he was out, and they would have already had new people in there. That guy would have
yeah,
been
maybe
under.
there's a bit of compassion going on there, Chop.
I think there is, and he's not. He's just making it out to be more than what it is.
Not picking up on that. You know what? I would have tried to build a Da Vinci Bridge to the landlord's heart,
I would have talked to the
and at
landlord too.
least showed willing and paid them in a month, because you're going to be there for the next month, aren't you? Because let's face it, paid a month, and then if you're still there in a month, pay a month and start building bridges. And I would go and put it in the hand, and I'd say, "Look, I'm sorry. I've
I would
been
have
really
did
been
that.
struggling."
As soon as I got the paperwork, I would have did that. I would have like, hey, what can we do to work this out? Like, I got the girls. Sometimes you gotta eat a little crow. You can't.
Yeah. But I have also been in it twice, actually. But once when I was a lot younger and I didn't have kids, where the house has been sold. The first one got sold from under me. The next one, the owner of the house, their dad was down in Wales. That's where he lived. They lived up here, and he was sick, and I moved him up here. So he owned that house. So they fucking got me out.
Well, that could have been the situation. They were letting him stay there. They had the house on the market, letting him stay there. The house sold. The people just haven't made it up here yet. The people that bought it thought that the old landlords already took care of, evicted him and everything, but he hasn't left yet.
So the
And
house,
so the
now
new
that's
owners
another layer.
the new
So,
owners maybe live
so
out of state. They
the
just
house
haven't
sale,
made it up
because
here yet.
they'd stop the house sale going through while there's a tenant there. If they didn't want the tenant, they wanted him out. So then the owner of the house would have to prove that an eviction has taken place by giving paperwork to make the sale go through. So he applies for the paperwork, gets all that through, pushes the sale through. Now the new owner's going to come up expecting the gaff to be empty. Go on,
Yeah,
blimey.
yeah, pretty much.
That's
Because
one way the tale could go.
that's probably the way it is. The people live out of state, bought this house for super cheap, figure they're going to come fix it up, maybe, fix it and resell it or whatever they find,
Or
and they're
it
going to
could
show up
be
with they're going to show up with a U-Haul, and there's going to be someone still there.
that these evil slumlords, okay, they've done that many people over. Nobody really wants to work with them no more. So they've only got a small group, and now they've also got what Channel 2's going through. They've probably got 50 properties going like that. So they backed up to anything, you know. They'd rather have an eviction available to take place than none, and the work crew sat there. So maybe they're taking 10 asses to court every couple of months. They're taking 10 asses to court, getting the rights to go and take all the shit back. But they can't get all the work done. And then you're leaving houses empty that are just going to get fucking robbed. So they just, if the 2 month goes up, they just apply again. And they're just going to rock up one day.
Yeah, you never know. I mean, me personally, I would be more worried that they don't show up and go, hey, you were supposed to be out. You're still here. You're trespassing. Like, you knew you were supposed to be here. But according to their law, it looks like when the eviction was up, they had 10 days to have like the sheriff or the beta come out and make them leave. And what it looked like was if they didn't do it after that, they had
Well,
to start the whole
I
eviction.
thought it would be, because other than this, you're fucking the courts around. So if you put a eviction order in place, then a copper is assigned that at a date and a time, and they're there to go through with the process and enforce the eviction. That's what
I always thought. I always thought like when that date hit, it would like hit the computer as an assignment.
Oh, then there's a
that
date and a
needed to be
time.
done. Right. And
Yeah,
the computer
there's a
for the
window.
sheriff.
There's a window, but they've got to allocate people. So there's a window, but before ahead of time, they'll have a date and a time, and that's how it works here anyway. But they have to, yeah. Sometimes they have to go through next level evictions because they turn up and there's a complication.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never been evicted, so I don't really know how it all works. But it would seem like you're almost in contempt of court if the court says you need to be out this time and you don't leave, whether somebody comes and makes you leave or not. Like, you're not doing.
Yeah, well, if the coppers don't come to enforce the law, did the fucking crime really happen?
Crime happened, just they didn't come and enforce it.
But they don't. The courts don't know he hasn't left.
Well,
They'll only find out when another eviction goes in. They go through that many, they won't even recognise the address or anything. They're just going through them.
People wonder why people want so much money to rent a house and stuff. Because you got people like that take advantage. And then next time they're like, oh yeah, fuck that. I'm gonna make sure these motherfuckers pay. You know, like, who wants to rent a house if they have to risk somebody not leaving?
No, just if they only fuck you up for a few months, even if they're there for years, you know, and they fuck you up for a few months, that could be your mortgage.
That's it. You're paying a mortgage on the house. So it's
Or what you get a lot here, you get a lot of old couples that'll have a second house and they'll rent out, and it's their pension. You know, if they're not getting their, they can't eat because that's their income. But it sounds like with Channel 2s, that's not necessarily the case. It's a big company that rents out terrible fucking houses that are subpar, but the people that are in them can't fight against it because they've got nowhere else to go and they're the only one providing the service. Section 8, blah, blah, blah. They're not going to govern this guy who's providing 10,000 houses to the Section 8 guy. They're not going to give him a hard time because if it spirals out of control and he loses his license to do Section 8, then they've lost 10,000 properties.
Yeah, I mean, like I say, in my opinion, though, if it was really a shitty landlord, And they were all about the money. They'd be making sure he was out so they could turn around and make money. But they wouldn't have let him just live there for nothing anyway. That's the thing. Like, if they really were letting him stay, and that's the way how I got it when he said they were letting him stay there, not having to pay rent. And when they needed him to move, so they probably put the house up for sale, let him stay there until the house sold. The house sold, but he wouldn't move. And fucking, if you're happy doing it, then fine. But me, as a person, I would never do that. I would feel like such a piece of shit. He always says nobody walk in his shoes because nobody does the dumb shit that you do. Like, nobody would do that and put themselves in a situation like that.
No, I hate being in debt because I hate people owing me money.
Oh, well, being in debt for me is horrible. I just don't even like the idea of it. Like, when it's the first of the month, I'm fucking, okay, bills are coming in. I'm paying them as soon as possible. Getting paid that way. I know how much money I got for the rest of the month.
You know where you stand.
Good. Yeah, everything's paid. Then you can go, you got dick off money. You got money, you can do other shit.
It's called living to your means.
Yeah.
Or not living beyond your means.
I got credit cards in my wallet I've never even used. I mean, I have them, but doesn't mean I should use them. Like, what is it? You're still gonna pay for them.
Yeah. But it's planning ahead, like within the grow. If you're going to want that, save up a bit ahead of time and then buy it rather than getting it on the nod.
It's just planning.
Because it's a vicious circle. Because then you got to pay off, so you start taking out of a different pot, and you're robbing Peter to pay Paul.
Well, then you're paying interest on that. So
yeah, and then you need to get another line to pay that line.
And then by the time you pay that off, now you need a new one because that one's fucking like,
Yeah, it just makes me feel like I'm chasing my horse. Stuff like that.
I mean, realistically, if you don't have the money for it, you just shouldn't buy it. And I know people, and that doesn't mean not use a credit card ever. If you got the money to pay that credit card bill every month and you know that you're fine with it, then go fucking right ahead. But if you don't have the money,
I think with that, if you've got the credit card, the whole point of it is that you can't afford it. So you're getting credit so you can afford it. So just getting that card doesn't make you all of a sudden get more money. It just gets you in fucking debt. So you're actually taking a step back.
You are, because you're going to pay more on that card.
But no, you're not taking a step back because you can build your score credit and then get in even more debt.
Right.
And then hopefully when you die, all them debts are paid off and you end up leave your fucking kids with big debt.
It's a vicious cycle and you can get caught up in it really easy.
I've had friends whose parents have died. They've had a plus £1 million house and lived the rich lifestyle, yeah? Loaded, basically. When they died, everything they had, all the house, the land and all that bollocks, by the time that all the debts had been paid off, they got fuck all left. Nothing. They just kind of used the house to unlock loads of credit and never fucking paid it back and living like millionaires when actually they had fuck all money, but yet they're driving around in fucking Land Rovers and going on luxurious holidays.
People do
buying.
that. People do that and live really good, and they figure, who gives a shit once I'm dead? But they don't, you know, what are you leaving to your kids or anything like that? I mean, I would hate to think of the thought of leaving them with all the debt. You know, like, I mean, they're going to want to come after somebody for the money.
I've got another mate who's so you know, rich. This is again rich fucking neighborhood. Paid their lifetime's worth of tax. Goes into an old people's home, gets sick, has to go in an old people's home. They took fucking everything. They sold off his house for the money for him to. This is the fucking.
Don't get emotional.
This is the government doing this, taking his ass off him to pay. First off, used all his savings, then took his ass off him to pay for his upkeep in this thing. Then once he got absolutely nothing left, the government stepped in and helped him.
Yeah.
After raping him of his lifetime savings and earnings and all that, I thought that was disgusting.
All right, we can work this out if you want to now, Unc.
Yeah.
Nuggie's here.
Work what out?
You missed the whole line.
I was looking at it's him.
Yeah, I didn't want you to get emotional, but he's here.
I don't understand.
I'm off then, Chop. See ya. All right. Are you better, Nugget?
No. Well, yes and no. My fucking where I was dehydrated yesterday, yes.
I don't know if I can lay it on him, Chop. He's still poorly.
What's wrong?
Well, I see that you've been backstabbing me in comments.
Oh, have I? Where's that at?
Well, I was blinded by all the libtards. Too many libtards to count in the comment I read. And they're trying to hold the olive branch out to my dear channel too. And you're there in the comment, backstabbing, putting your timestamp on me. Now I've got nowhere to go. Channel 2's done with me.
Well, that's what libtards do, Bubba.
I'd worked so
I'm not
hard.
saying Channel 2's a libtard, not yes or no, but, you know.
I don't even know what a libtard is. Is it liberal?
Well,
There's something to do with liberals,
there you go.
right? And now I don't know. It's naive as it is. Don't know what a liberal means. So, is there a sentence or a few adjectives?
I can say it in probably 2 words. Joe
Go on,
Biden.
man. Oh, he did the Joe Biden. I think that's what. I'm still struggling to see why Channel 2 hates me. I feel like this friendship we built, Nugget, it was all done on false pretenses. You just wanted to upset Channel 2 all along. You've had me on the slow boiler. Is that true?
I mean, if you want it to be, I guess.
The guilt. You can hear it. So, yeah, well, Who's pretty much done with me. Completely fucking ignored me. Reading chopped messages.
And skipping over you like he does me all the time. It's fucking hilarious.
Yeah, I was stood at the window.
I was just trolling, Wally.
He's on Chop's arse straight away. Chop can't even go in undercover no more.
I don't even go. I just don't care anymore.
I'm almost at that point too. You can only slap my hand away so many times.
He's so close to snapping now. I mean, shit, where's Reliable? So close.
Not break channel 2. You'll never see a stone snap with channel 2. He's a born fighter.
That's why he's in the position he's in. He wants to fight everything.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you're not at work today then, Nugget?
No, I gotta go give my blood today. I'm off till Thursday.
We're gonna put a travel trailer next to the clinic. That way you can just stay in that. That way you don't have to drive back and forth so much.
Yeah, I know, right?
I was trying to tell everybody you got that fucking hops virus. Somebody sent you seeds and it was infested with hops.
Had the latent, full of the latent.
Yeah, the latent. As soon as you touch the seeds, you got that shit.
Oh, Chop, I'm going to lay a photo on you soon and it's going to make you so hard.
Whoa.
I just need whatever's in my gut out is what I need. It's fucking me up.
Yeah, I hate gut issues.
Well, I mean, have you been putting anything in it the last day or so? Have you been eating?
Yeah, I ate last night pretty well actually, because once I got my hydration back,
Your
it was just like,
appetite followed.
well, yeah, that too, but I don't know what's going on with my stomach, but it's fucked up right now. I mean, I kind of know what's going on, but I don't know if that's it or not.
Well, are you done with the medication now then?
No.
Fucking hell. How many more of these you got to go through? This happens every time, doesn't it?
No.
Put him up.
No.
I know you'd swapped areas.
Yeah, it was happening every time whenever I was going around my belly button. But once I switched to my leg, it completely stopped. I haven't had it in fucking months, probably 2 months.
See, I have. It's not the same for the same thing as you, but I've got a mate that has to take injections, and he has to change areas every couple of months.
Yeah, I do too. That's what I got to do. I got to change every week, but I switch back and forth from each leg.
All right.
But when I did it this time in my left leg, I was 4 days late, and I don't know if that was it or if I've got a stomach virus.
Do you have to keep it cold or anything?
Yeah, so store it in the fridge. Yeah.
So none of that had changed then.
No.
You did everything right.
Yeah, I got it out when I was at work, and my medicine, and I took it inside and put it in the fridge until I was done working.
You are lost, Teddy.
Yeah. Did you see my message, Chop?
Yeah. How do you know that?
I was talking to him last night in Chip's chat.
Oh, right.
He said what up to me, and he said keep grinding. And I thought he was talking to somebody else. And I said, wait, Chop, you been watching my videos? He said, absolutely. I said, no fucking shit. All right.
There's not very many views, but that's cool. I know. I
No,
think
there's not, but they
I
have
sent
gone
him
up a little bit.
Yeah, they have. And I sent him the link. I think the first one, but I
Oh,
don't
did you?
know. You know, yeah, I don't know. But
I don't know if he was talking to me or not, but like right after he had said something, he's like, hit me up on IG or Facebook. So I messaged him. I was like, I don't know if you were talking to me or not, but I just wanted to hit you up anyway. And tell you I fucking big fan of your fucking show and what you're doing.
it'd be cool to, once we get 50, because then we could start having live guests.
Yep. Well, and it sucks too. Last night I was like, man, I want to interview Chop and, see where the fuck he came from. You know what I mean? And then fucking
I'd like to
two sentences later. Yeah, but 2 sentences later, he's like, yeah, Rich Regal on Wednesday is going to be interviewing me on my channel. I'm like, damn it.
Yeah. Right. That was why, I jumped on Triple T's open panel just to hang out.
Yeah. Hopefully he gives me a wrench next time I'm over there.
Just get out and about,
I used to have a wrench.
Now you just got a socket.
Not got anything anymore.
Pair of pliers.
No.
He ain't got a wrench anymore. He's just got the shaft in his hands.
Yeah, he just got the old fucking rubber piece.
Oh, is my camera on?
Yeah. Yeah, that's cool.
He did give me a suggestion too. He's like, if you can, man, do a video every day and watch how your channel grows. I was like,
yeah, it is true. It is true.
It is very true. It's really hard.
It's hard.
Do you know what, though?
To do one every day.
So,
What?
I've got a bit of experience in this department of sorting channels out, and this is how I find it. YouTube will hold bait, like kind of, they'll entice you so that you'll drop the first couple of videos you've got. So sometimes I'll do dreadful, but most times I'll do really good, especially if it's a channel that you've had for a bit and you've not uploaded for a while. If you've got one of them, then they push that again. So I feel like YouTube is also playing a game with you where you're trying to beat the algorithm and try and do this and that to do that. They're also doing the same thing back to you by triggering you into uploading more, making more content. And so if you miss things, they'll drop your views, which pushes you more. And I just find a lot of game playing going on with them. But a lot of my channels, it's all disgusting, reportable content. If it's all happy, normal content, maybe it's different.
Well, I got I don't know, probably like 150 views right now on my. I think it was my very first. Might have been a second one. I don't know.
Yeah. That's them.
With like fucking 9 subs.
Yeah, that's them giving you the. That's them giving you the offering you the cheese. Like, come on. There's that part of it, and then I also feel that that's them chucking it out in the algorithm and seeing what feedback they get. So they'll fire it out there in the shorts for limited views and see how many people actually like it or report it or whatever, which also can push you up. If you do some nice, happy, something that a lot of people like things to start with, they'll push you out there more. Then you can switch to. But they depends what content you've got. If it's reportable, there's not even any point bothering because they just do you. something that's reportable. I mean, I guess you're talking about the country rap scene, so I guess it's pretty tame. There's not much dog stabbing and
Yeah.
nudes. And...
See, you think our fucking community's bad? No, dude, you have no idea. You have no idea. This is.
Oh, I don't know. What's worse than some of the stuff we've seen? Then give us some examples.
I mean, it's the same shit, dude. Just
you probably need to know
more of it.
backstories and all that.
Yeah, I mean, it's all the same shit. Everywhere you go on YouTube, it's the same.
So what we've had have they had landlords being called, Burger King visits, dog fatality,
CPS, fucking you name it, it's there. What'd you say, Chop?
Yeah, I was gonna say pretty much the same. Yeah, it's the same shit.
Yeah.
So why do you go there then? Because you like all that?
No, because I like the music. We're trying not to be involved.
Do you think you can like the music and still do the fuck shit? Or what's your channel trying to be anyway? Is it trying to be a trolley account, or is it like a
reaction
levels account? A reaction channel, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're trying to be pure then, are you?
A little bit.
Get away from the drama.
There's going to be drama, dude, period. That's just the way it is.
There's always drama, no matter where you go.
Are you avoiding, are you going to, with this country rap thing, are you going to avoid the drama, address the drama, stick to the positive reaction videos?
It'd probably be, it's definitely going to be the reaction videos, but I'm sure there's going to be a little bit of drama involved.
At some point, I'm sure.
I mean, at some point there will be. People are not going to like us for our opinion. It's just the way it is. I've already got Creek Squad in one of my videos, fucking telling me how stupid I am.
I mean, it's almost like the format that you got for this country rap thing / roly roly thing. The format's pretty similar to a channel I watch on Mondays. Like reviewing, it's almost like reviewing song killers.
Yeah, no.
No.
Yeah, no.
No. Well, I mean, I guess that the stuff that you've been reviewing, there's not, it should be all right in it, or it's not out there.
Well, there's one right now we're viewing. It's about the drama.
What the song is?
No, the video that we're reviewing.
Situation.
It's called the Country Rap Public Service Announcement, but it's all fucking, and it's like an hour and 50 minutes long, and it's fucking, it's all about the fucking drama. We're just putting our fucking 2 cents into it. We picked up a few subs from that last video we did, though.
Yeah. It'll slowly build up.
Yep.
Are you active in chats under that account?
Yep. That and my name right now, Chops will be here real soon. Once I think I can change it now, actually. But Nuggy's in the title, and Chapo will be too, so they'll know who we are. Even on our other, well, maybe not Chops because he's got school crop, but they know who I am under my other account, the Nuggy account.
And does that work in your favour? Have you been behaving under Nugget?
I always behave under Nuggy. I always behave, period.
Then why's
Some
Channel
people,
2 got you blocked?
because he doesn't like my opinion. That's why. Same reason he blocks everybody else.
Well, he only blocks me because of you.
Well, whatever.
Well, he's not blocked me yet.
That's called liberals. That's called libtard shit right there. Blocking people for their fucking
Beliefs.
opinion. Yeah, their beliefs. It's ignorant. Can't handle the fucking heat. Get off YouTube. That's the way I feel about it.
Oh, 50 is deadly.
But I don't have to involve myself in it either, so it's that easy.
Yeah.
Everybody else wants to be involved in it, go for it.
Oh, I went beyond sweats then. All my forehead went itchy. Felt like I was going to have an out-of-body experience.
I'm done getting involved in people's personal shit, dude, because that's never what it was about. I don't like it. I don't care if you put it on YouTube, whatever. But I'm done with it.
Yeah, I'd rather not see other people's shit. I'll deal with my own.
Yep. I've got my own fucking problems. I don't need somebody else's.
I don't want emotional baggage. Or doxing talk and stuff like that. Silly business.
Yep.
Fucked up.
Oh my God. Feels like I got one of them KitchenAid mixers in my stomach. Yeah. It's just constant fucking mixing up. Feels like bubbling, bubble guts.
Did you ever used to do the fade before Channel 2 told you about it, Nugget?
The fade, what are you talking about?
In the plan, the fade.
Oh, yeah. Channel 2 taught us all that. We had no clue what a fade was until Channel 2 came around.
You know, that's although you're
Yeah.
a traitor, I'll admit that's big of you.
Yeah, of course. He taught. I mean, if it wasn't for Channel 2, we wouldn't know how to grow. Fuck. No, Doc, he's complete full of shit. And I think you know that.
Yeah, that's why.
Oh, me? Don't involve me with Channel 2. He hates me enough.
You're the one that brought it up.
I'm just trying to learn about the fade. Future references. We all know where the pink genetics come from. Now I'm figuring out where the fade come from.
Yep. The fucked up thing is he actually probably believes that.
Or maybe what he believes is that people were doing it, but nobody spoke on it like it's an actual thing. until Channel 2
no.
started talking about it.
Yeah, no. Definitely no.
Yeah, no wonder you're blocked.
Channel 2 thinks his plant yellowing out and being burnt.
It's fading. Yeah. Yeah.
So I don't.
Good fucking call. Yeah.
If that's what you're teaching me that fade is, then okay, maybe you are teaching me something. But that's not what I did. That's not fade. Or maybe he is fading the plants and we're actually.
Yeah, we're all fucking it up.
We just autumn them. Because that's what the natural plant does in an autumn cycle when it's getting ready to die.
Oh, first cigarette of the day.
Yeah, you're just waking up. I've been on here almost 4 hours.
I was awake when you first went live. My gut was bubbling, and I laid back down for a little bit. And,
Yeah,
I was sitting here listening.
Rest. You sure you
What is it there, Nuggy? 11:50.
11. Yep.
And then, so the other side, you're 7 hours behind us, or we're 7 hours ahead. And so the other side is 5, is it? Or is it 4?
No, it's 5 Eastern that you all are ahead, and then 7 Mountain Time.
I don't know where I got 4 hours. There's someone I speak to on here that's 4 hours. Or maybe not. I know Lick's an hour ahead of me.
I'm about ready to get off here.
Yeah, I'm about ready to go and round up the kinfolk.
You want to do a video later today, Top?
Yep. We gotta. I mean, that's the thing. We gotta keep up on it for sure.
Yeah, I know.
Yep.
I was thinking in my head last night if we can do 4 a week or something, maybe.
Yep.
Yeah. We'll shut it down. We'll talk backstage.
Yep.
Right, see you in a bit then, lads. Cheers, everyone.
If you want.
Oh, I've got to go and round up the youngs.
Well, fuck you
younglings.
too.